Welcome to another episode of Sweet 915. I am host Curtis Smith, and we have with us it's me, Fedora.
Hey Curtis, how are
Hey,
you?
Fedora. Hey, I like your look. Fly,
You-
girl, fly. Just fly.
Okay, Curtis. Thank you. I know you trying to be funny. It's all
I'm not
good.
gonna. I'm not gonna mess with you today. I'm just, I'm not gonna go there. But how you been doing? How was your week? How's everything?
It has been great.
It
It's
has
been
been
great.
great.
hmm
School's good. Kids
Yeah.
not running you crazy. You
No,
know,
I mean it's good.
it's
Like
good.
work and work. It's good.
Working and working.
Can't
There's not.
complain.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with making money, but
That's it. Working.
hey, we got a good
How
show
about
today, huh?
yourself?
I'm good.
hmm
I'm
Okay.
good. But they asked for it, right? So they're gonna get it,
Yeah.
right? Okay,
Yep.
I'm
That's
just
right.
making sure we on the same sheet of music today, and we always gonna be friends after the day. We gonna still be friends.
Yep. Yep.
But once again, welcome to the show. Uh, we're gonna first before we begin, we're gonna cover some important information um, about COVID. Y'all don't want to talk about it, but we're going to talk about it because we got to keep you
Yep.
informed
Keep
of
it in the
what's going
forefront.
on.
hmm
So, can we get those COVID updates, Miss Fedora?
There they are. All right, our COVID updates numbers continue to rise. Unfortunately, those of you who can see us, you can see 148 and then 145, 433, which is a little bit increased from last time we gave
Yeah.
you um, the numbers, and that's just here in El Paso, Texas.
Mhm.
Um, so yeah, we're going
Thank
to
God, no deaths. So, you see no deaths in the last week. That's a good thing. It's
yeah, that
positive.
is a positive. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then we're going to invite Dr. Alozi
Hmm.
back on the show to discuss what the community and the country can do to get back to some type of normalcy.
Yeah.
So we'll be bringing him back on.
Yeah. There's more information right there on COVID.
Oh, all right, what's the latest news and buzz in social media?
Well, first and foremost, our condolences to the family and fellow troopers of the Illinois State Trooper Gerald Mason, who was found in his vehicle with a single gunshot wound. Trooper Mason was 35 years old and served with the Illinois uh, State Troopers, Illinois State Police for 11 years. So our
Mhm.
condolences go to him and his family. Um, according to we have a school shooting. According to Edge Week org, uh, there was a couple of shootings this year. So it's early in the year, and I just don't understand what's going on. But please pray for the kids and their families that these things are happening in these various states. Uh,
Mhm.
you don't want to be locked down. So let's just try to do the thing, do the right thing, and young people, let's be smart about it.
Yep.
Let's just be smart about what we're doing out here, and don't allow something as simple that you could prevent take your life, or you have to spend the rest of your life in jail over something you could have just walked away from.
Mhm.
So,
Completely. Right. So today's topic, Curtis, what is it?
ooh, the woos and woes of single life,
Mm.
perspectives from the men and women on dating.
All right.
Hmm.
What's your perspective, Curtis?
I'm not, we're not doing this today, Fedora. I'm not doing this with you. Not today. That lady said, not today. Not today.
What you
But I'll give you a little
mean?
statistics, though. According
All
to
right.
Pew Research, about 3 and 1, 10,
Nope. 3 and 10.
3 and 10
Mm-hmm.
adults, which is 31%, say they are single, not married, living with a partner, or in a committed romantic relationship. Why? Half of the singles are not looking to date. Most older single women are not looking to date. For younger men, non-daters, dating just isn't a top priority.
Mm.
That's my perspective right there. Boom. Boom.
Whatever. That is not your perspective. That was
Got too
all
much on my
quote
plate.
unquote.
It's too much on my plate,
Whatever.
man. Too much on the plate. I can't. I can't. I don't have time right now.
Hmm.
Maybe
Yeah.
down the line somewhere.
So that's good. You recognize that. You say you have too much on your plate and you're busy right now. So
Mm,
therefore, dating takes time and some sort of commitment, right?
mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right. All right. Okay. I
Yeah.
got that from a male
Yeah.
perspective. So it takes time and commitment.
Mm-hmm.
It's a
That's
level of
right.
commitment. Yep. So
You
you
know
have
it's
to be
getting
in that.
cold though, right? It's getting
What that mean?
cold.
What does that mean?
It's getting cold.
Okay, what does that mean?
You don't want to be cold in the wintertime.
What?
That just went over your head. Come
It
back,
did.
girl.
It
Come back.
did. No,
The
it
men,
went.
the men know what I'm talking about. And some of these
Okay.
women know what I'm talking about too. It's getting cold.
Okay.
That's all I'm saying.
All
We
right.
don't we don't like to we don't like to be cold. So
Okay.
some of the things we're gonna talk about today, we might have to, say, hey, we'll put off till the summer months.
Mm, okay.
All right.
I got you. I hear you. All right.
Yeah, because we on Sweet 915, so I ain't gonna say it's cuddle buddy season. I ain't gonna say that
Okay.
because it's
You just
cold.
said it. You just said it. All right. But
Uh,
anywho,
okay, I'm
so
gonna
who do we
stop.
have on? Who do we have on
Oh,
that's gonna
we
give
got
us
some,
this information?
we got another group of great people, men and
Okay.
women, that's gonna talk about the woos and woes of single life. So we're gonna talk about it today. We
Okay.
have a great group of people. Look at, there they go, right there.
All right.
Howard, my man, what's up?
Hey, Howard.
Howard, can you hear us?
I don't think he can. No, he's frozen.
He's frozen.
Yeah. Oh, there he
What's
is.
going on?
Hey, what's up? What's up?
Trying to get my
So we gonna what we
headset
gonna
to
do
work.
first thing? You good?
So I'm gonna go take it off
So
so
the
it
first
ain't
thing we're
working.
gonna do is introduce our guest today, and we're gonna start with Pastor Melissa Miller. Welcome to the show.
Hello, it's good to be on here. How is
Yeah,
everyone doing?
very good, very
Great.
good, very good. Tell us a little bit about yourself, Miss Miller.
Oh, well, I am, as introduced, Melissa Miller. I happen to not be single. I have been married to a wonderful man for the past 30 plus years, November to be 31. I am
Okay.
founder of Keep It of the Keys, and I'm also co-pastor of Transforming Faith Ministries here in El Paso.
Okay, all right.
Mother of four, grandmother of four.
All right.
We ain't gonna call her Big Mama yet. She ain't old enough to be Big Mama.
No, she's
Yeah,
beautiful. She doesn't even look like a
yeah. She
grandmother.
beautiful. Once Pastor
Woo-hoo.
Melissa, once you get a little older and you get the house coat and the shoes and everybody come to your house on Sunday, that's when they're gonna start calling you Big Mama.
Oh Lord, have mercy, Lord, no, say it ain't so. Not how that
Yeah, I'm
never,
telling you, that's what
never
happened.
Okay.
happen.
She
Hey,
That'll
said she
never
not
everybody
happen.
would
like
go to
those
grandma's
mamas.
house on Sunday. Grandma cook for everybody, and everybody go to grandma's house to eat on Sunday.
I
Yeah.
do cook on Sundays now. I do
Oh,
cook,
She
make
said, but she
homemade
don't look
cakes and
like that.
everything, but without the house coat and a roll.
hey, Mr. James Henry, welcome to the show, sir. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Thank you. My name is James Henry. I was married for 18 years, now divorced, have two kids and one grandkid, and I
Okay.
retired military.
Retired military, single in the city, huh?
Right, yeah, sing in the city, sing in the city.
Single in the city. That's what's up right there. See, when you get older, they're gonna be calling you Papa and come to your house to get change for lunch money and stuff like that. See.
And I'm already calling me Papa already. It's not the lunch money yet.
Oh, well, welcome to the show, sir. Thanks for coming on. Miss Sharon
Okay.
Jacobs, how you doing today?
I'm doing good.
Oh, that's good. That's good. Yeah, yeah, Sharon. They said to be nice, so I'm just gonna let you tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay, my name's Sharon Jacobs. Everybody calls me by my middle name, Joy.
Joy,
Um,
joy.
I'm originally from Montgomery, Alabama.
Uh-huh.
Moved out here working for the military. I'm single, never been married, don't have any kids.
Okay.
I'm just a
Single in the Sun City.
single in the sun.
Miss Sharon Jacobs. Yeah. 8, my main man, Mr. Howard Covington. Welcome back, sir.
What's going on, Curtis?
Hey, ain't
Fedora?
nothing to it. Tell
Or
us a
should
little,
I say
tell the
Princess
people about
Leia?
yourself, man. What you doing?
Stop, Howard. Tell us about yourself,
My
Howard.
name Howard Covington. I'm retired from the military, 25 years. I am married. I was married for 3 and divorced since 1999, April, like 12 p.m. according to the paperwork. I've been single since. I have been on the dating scene, but currently single.
Okay. All right.
I have one son who is 20. He'll be 26 this month.
Okay. There it is. There it is. Welcome to the show, everybody. Thanks y'all for coming. Uh Fedora, you want to just get to the questions or you want to,
Yeah, we can get to the questions. We
okay.
have viewer questions. We have questions that were submitted in our inboxes. So I'll just start with one of our viewers,
Mm-hmm.
Maggie Ensley. She wants to know, what is single? She says that some people say they are single, but it has different meanings. Some are talking to one another person, they may be dating someone, but they still identify themselves as single. So basically, she wants to know, what are men and women's definition or the criteria of the word single? Because single has different definitions, like for men and women, seemingly. Because a man will say, "Oh, I'm single," but later on, when you find out after you start talking to him, he's in a situationship, or he's dating, somebody else, and you like, "Yo, dude, you just said you was single." Because in my book, that's not single. Like, single is, I'm single and I'm ready to mingle. Like, I don't have a situationship. I'm
Right.
not talking to anybody else. I just want to, commit that time to start, talking to, another person. So, well, I want to start with a male answering that question. What is single to you? How would you define being single? Anybody? Any male?
Okay, I'll start off. I consider when you're single that there's no commitment and no situationship. That's my definition of single.
Okay.
You're not dating anyone, uh, anything at all.
Okay. What about you, Howard?
Yeah.
Can you
So
hear me, Howard? Oh, okay.
I don't think you can hear us.
Yeah. I was I've been having some technical difficulties over here. The
Hmm.
over here, so I'm not sure what's going on. I keep getting kicked off.
Mm-hmm.
But I agree with was that Henry?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So as we get older, and there are certain things that go through different relationships, and you come up with these different terms. And so now, I mean, you single? Are you single and dating? Or are you just single and not seeing anyone, right? So I guess there are levels to it, but the most important part, I believe, is to be upfront with it in the beginning, uh, which allows whoever the person is that you're thinking about dating the opportunity to, or the choice to say, okay, I can get down with that. You single, but you're dating. I'm single and I'm still dating. So you still filling each other out. And then are you single, but you have, or you committed to someone, but you're single and you're committed to that person, um, but not seeing anyone else. Does that make sense?
So so you're not open to date anybody else, right? You're in a committed
Right.
relationship, right? But so
Correct.
I'm getting the undertone of single, possibly for men, meaning that they are not married, right? So it's either single, married. So when they
Correct.
say they're single, that means in your mindset, that means you're single, you're not married. Because you said there are different levels of it. So you're single, dating, single, not dating, right? So I guess that would be the
Right.
two different levels. Am I correct?
But I don't want that's been the
Oh,
same conversation. I don't want to say it's just from a man's perspective because that has been communicated to me from women as well.
okay. All right. Now, what about my ladies on the panel? What is your definition of single?
Well, for me, single means you're not dating anyone, you don't have a situationship, you don't have anybody on the side, or you're not anybody's thing on the side. You're just by yourself and you're looking to commit the time to form a relationship with someone.
Okay. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
What?
I agree with everyone. Single is alone. It's just one. You're not in a relationship. You're not dating. You're not committed. You are single. If you are not single, that means you're single and in a committed relationship. You're still in a committed relationship. So in essence, for me, you're not single. So that lets me know you're not available. But
Yep.
I agree that if you are single and you're dating, just be honest. Be upfront. Be upfront about it.
Yep. Exactly. Okay. Good. So I hope that answered um our viewer Miss Inslee's question. All right, Curtis, you got one?
So single is just single. Single mean,
Mm-hmm.
you're not having
That
no
you not.
entanglements.
Yes, right.
Just by
Nothing.
yourself, reading the book,
That's it. There you
uh,
go.
all that good stuff.
Yes, all that good
Just
stuff.
just
You by
reading the
yourself.
book, going just by
Mm-hmm.
yourself.
Yeah,
When you move by yourself. Single.
no entanglements.
Okay, no
Yep. No
entanglements.
entanglements.
That work
None.
for you, Joy?
Yes, no
No entanglements, no
entanglements,
nothing. Just
no
No nothing.
Yeah, I
situationships,
mean, you're not
Nothing.
no
seeing
no friends with
anyone, you're not
benefits,
dating
nothing.
anyone.
Just
You
you
just
by
you
yourself.
by yourself.
oh,
Yep.
okay. All right.
All right.
Thank y'all
Okay.
for
None of
clearing
that.
that up. So Joy, I'm gonna ask you, what are the advantages of being single? The advantages of being single, do you think?
I think one of the advantages of being single it gives you time to get to know yourself. So when you get to know yourself and you get to learn to love yourself and you have that confidence, so when you go into a relationship, you don't necessarily need that other person to make you whole. You complement each other and you come together as one. So I think that's one of the advantages of being single. You get to know you better than anything else.
Okay.
Mm.
Okay. What do you think, Howard?
Zero obligations.
Zero obligations.
I mean, I'm not obligated to call anyone. I'm not obligated to go see this person. Dynamics change when you get into a relationship, and you now have obligations to where you have to see this person or communicate with them. But I mean, if you're single, just by yourself, those are the benefits to not having to, some want that pressure of having to call someone every day or uh, checking in on someone or oh, I didn't go out on date night with this person this week, and all these different things that come along with actually being single and dating
Okay.
or being in a committed relationship.
Okay. Pastor Miller, what do you think? Well, you're not single, but I mean, I'm sure you've had to counsel individuals that come to you and say, I don't know what it is about me, uh, but and you have to tell them, the advantages and disadvantages, what would you say the advantages of being single?
I agree with Joy and Henry. Getting to know yourself. When you get to know yourself as a single person in a non-committed, entangled relationship, that means that I know myself so well that I don't have to compromise for none of y'all boogers. I know who I am. So you can't get me to fall for the okie doke.
Mm-hmm.
You cannot get me to compromise any of my standards because I know who I am.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the other things is you have no obligations. So if you're single, you have no obligations to please anyone, any particular person. You have that, what is that? That you're not accountable, that non-accountability.
Mm-hmm.
So you are a power of one, so to speak. So you're only accountable to yourself. So that's one of the advantage. But the most important thing is to get to know yourself.
Right. What about you, Henry?
I think it's the freedom that you have when you're not committed, you're not in a relationship. You get a chance to go where you please, when you please. You don't have to say, "Oh, I got to make sure my significant other can go. It's all right with her." So that's my biggest thing, just the freedom, not being committed.
Mm-hmm. Okay. There you have it.
All right. So the flip side of that, what are the disadvantages of being single?
He laughing. Start with Henry. He
I'm gonna
laughing.
start with Henry. I'm gonna start with him. What are the disadvantages? All right.
Okay, I think one of the main disadvantages of being single is not having someone there when you. I mean, we all get along. We're human, so you don't have someone there when you just to talk to. Not you don't have to have someone there just to be in a relationship, but have someone there to talk to of the opposite sex. I mean, sometimes that can can be a problem sometimes.
Okay. All right. Who wants to go next? Pastor Miller, go ahead. We're going
I
reverse.
knew you were going to call on me. I knew you were going to call on me.
35 years. 35 years.
30 years. 30 years.
30 years?
30.
Yeah.
I have been married to my best friend for these 30 years, and every day has not been perfect, but I know I have a confidant. I have somebody who I can trust, who I can depend on. I have a covering. I have somebody to keep me warm in that cold weather. I heard Curtis.
Yes, you heard Curtis earlier.
See, Fedora, she got it. She got what I was saying.
It cold in the winter. It gets cold in the wintertime.
Yeah.
But I have someone that has my best interest at heart, someone who has my back, but someone also who I have to be accountable to, who says, you know what, baby, not somebody that controls me and say, you know what, you might need to go back and check that. You all right, you got attitude today. That's one thing I love about having my husband in my life. And I'm speaking as having a husband, I have all of those things. And I greatly appreciate having a relationship with him because he knows when to give me space and vice versa. We complement each other. So those are some awesome advantages to being married or not single.
Yeah, not single.
All right, Joy. What are the disadvantages of being single?
I could write a book on that. I think some of the disadvantages are like Henry, like James said, when you're certain highlights or points in your life when you really need someone there and you don't have anyone. Like I lost both my parents and I didn't have anyone. And my siblings had spouses or they had significant others, but I was by myself during that time. And even though I had them, I still wanted, someone to be there for me. So like they said, having someone that you can confide in, that when you need someone, they're there. Because you get lonely, and like Curtis said, it's cuffing season. It's cuffing season, so everybody trying out to be on the team. But when you ain't got nobody trying out for the team,
It get kind of rough, huh?
it's kind of rough. You just got to get that
I'm gonna
weighted
use that
blanket
one. Trying out for the
and
team. That's what I'm
just,
talking about.
Yeah.
Break out that snuggie.
Yep, break out the snuggie and keep
Fedora, Joey even got it.
All right, Howard. What are some disadvantages of being single? Can you hear me? Howard, what are some disadvantages of being single? I know he was frozen a minute ago. I don't think he can hear.
What was the
All right,
question?
we'll come back. Oh, what are some disadvantages of being single?
Ooh, um, by yourself. Bottom line, I mean, there's no companionship.
Yeah.
When you want to go do something, or like if you have friends that are out and couples, you sometimes end up being like the third wheel.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, uh, when you want to Netflix and chill, you can't. It's hard just chilling by yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And you want to go out and dance and all these things, go on trips. It's good to have a companion to do these with. I mean, and for the most part, you can have being single and having companionship is probably the most important part, because we all need some form of companionship, whether it's with a human, but they get tired of talking to their pets sometime, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
that's the thing, you want to have human contact and being able to have a conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. Like a friend, just to have a friend, another friend. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. And that don't always have to be dating, but to have a friend that's
Mm-hmm.
of the opposite sex.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Curtis, you got another question?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
All right.
Does does the educational background play a role in being single? And what I mean by that is the conversation piece. You know, I've heard some women say it's the approach of some men, um, that their the language, the vocabulary, or the what's it called? What's that big word y'all use, Fedora? Um,
What? Vernacular.
vernacular. There you go. Vernacular is just not there. Does that play a role in being single? Because it's some things that you won't tolerate. As a woman, and I'll start with Joy on that one. Is it the vernacular that turns you off when you see somebody that may be that person, and then they come
And open their mouths.
yeah. What do you think, Joy?
It definitely in the approach and the vernacular. You're not gonna get my attention with the hey shorty, yo mommy, let me talk to you. Know what I'm talking about? Listen, don't get me wrong. Now there's certain situations that's appropriate, but all the time, like the cat calling, that's not gonna get a woman's attention.
Mm-hmm.
No. Can you just I'm old school. You come up to me and introduce yourself and say, miss, I saw you across the room, can I get to know you a little bit better? Can we have some conversation? But all that, hey yo, shorty, let me holler at you, shorty. No.
It ain't gonna work.
Mhm.
That's not gonna work.
Right.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Henry.
Oh, it's very important. But I think as a man, uh, from a man point of view, a females don't really come to a male with the hey shorty and all that type of stuff, you know. And I think you can always improve a person's vocabulary.
Yeah.
So um, I don't I don't know. It's all for how I'm attracted to him. If I'm really attracted to him, then I would take that chance and say, oh, hey, we need to get that vocabulary up, that approach up, that approach up rather, because you don't want to sit around with someone and they're saying the same old thing with every question you ask them. They got the same reply, that street reply.
Hmm.
Uh, if they got that street reply, then I'm lost. I'm always now, what you mean by that? So
Yeah. Yeah.
yes, it can be.
Okay. So
But
Henry,
Henry,
it's
I'm gonna
not
come
a deal
back to you.
It's
I'm
not a deal. It's not a deal breaker though.
not deal
I
breaker.
have I
Okay.
have another question for Henry.
Go ahead.
I want to ask, what about a woman, I guess being forward with a man? Is that a turnoff to men? If a woman
You know,
is interested in a male, how should she best approach without coming off aggressive?
that's not a turn off to me, mate. To me, that's a turn on because now you have a strong woman that knows what she wants and let you know what she wants. So that would be a turn off to me. That's appreciated. I think most men would appreciate that instead of holding back and miss your turn or miss getting to know someone. So that's not a turn on to me. I think it's very positive for a
Okay.
woman to do that.
Okay.
I'm Henry. I'm gonna give you this scenario because I see this all the time.
What, Curtis?
She got the as Pastor Grady would say, the Coke bottle shaped, fine, smelling good in the club, right?
Mhm.
She walk past you, and you make that little turn and say, yeah, I think I'm gonna, hey Curtis, I think I'm gonna go holler at her. And then you go over to wherever she's sitting there and say, hey, how you doing? My name is Henry. I just want to get to know who you are, and I just want to get can I get a dance, or can I offer you a drink or something? And then she go, so what you trying to do, Henry? That's not gonna be a turn off for you. You're gonna be like, wait a minute, you
No,
know.
I'll just tell, hey, I'm just trying to buy you a drink. I'm not trying to take you home.
Okay,
you
okay,
know, that,
all
that would
right.
that would be a turn off to me because I mean, as you get older, it's not nothing new being said. It's just a different person saying it.
Okay,
Hmm.
all right.
Mm.
What do you think about that? How does the educational background play a role in being single? And when we talk about the vernacular and
Uh,
when you approach a lady.
I wouldn't say it's a big role, but I mean
Mm.
definitely if you're trying to have not education but conversations, and you're talking about things that are like because you traveled and you're well versed in other things, and you're having a conversation with someone and they don't kind of speak that same language, but it's not a deal breaker. You know what I'm saying? It's an opportunity to uh, to bring them. I ain't gonna say to your level, but at least enlighten them and diversify their background and their vocabulary and stuff.
Okay.
Mm.
Uh-oh. That's some Miller got it.
Pastor Miller,
She gonna
you
give it
ready?
to her, boy. She taking notes. Hey, y'all gonna be
You
in the
ready?
book
You
too.
ready?
Y'all
Uh
gonna be
oh.
in the book. It's gonna be in the book, Fedora.
Uh oh. Uh oh.
Oh Lord. You know what? I'm listening. Most women are affected by what they hear. So if, like Joyce said, if you have somebody come up with you, yo, shorty, most of the time, if you are a confident woman, I'm not gonna say all women, and you listening, you looking like, okay, he fine and all, but what in the world is he saying? I don't know what he want, because I've heard people talk from different regions of the United States, and sometimes I'm like, I don't know if he asked me to go to the bathroom or you want to give me a glass of water. I don't know. So we can look at the package, but after a while, I'm like, girl, I couldn't even hold a conversation with him. Now, men, a lot of times you stop at what you see. And you're like that
Visual.
Coke bottle figure, like you ain't heard the word she said, but you was looking like, you want to drink?
Mm-hmm.
You want to drink? I sure do. You got some scrimps to go along with that. You know, they're like, I'm not, I'm trying to marry you, but I mean, we affected, women, we affected by what we're here.
Right.
If you have a nice conversation, okay, now we can sit down and talk.
Mm-hmm.
So I can talk, and I know you can understand what I'm trying to articulate to you.
Mm-hmm.
You don't got to use $1,000 words, but at least come to me and know what you're talking about, and let me understand. I don't need a translator, because sometimes I'm like, I have to text my children. What she say? What do you say? I don't. I have no idea what they said.
Right.
But we gotta get past. Sometimes we gotta get past.
Yeah. Yeah.
The visual.
Yes, because you
Because
don't
men
know
are
what.
visual creatures. Men are visual
Yes, they
creatures.
are.
So,
You gonna
yeah.
go home with that sister? She gonna have your kidney.
Mhm.
But I think when you meet a person from my point of view, I can't speak for every man. I mean, first there's always the physical attraction. You get there, there's physical attraction there. Then the next part is the conversation. Now, if the conversation matches physical attraction, then you go to that third phase where you say, okay, I want to see her again. I want to talk to her again. But it's all starts at the physical. You know?
Mhm.
So the conversation come next, and then okay, she got a great conversation. She feels good about herself. I feel good about her. So we could maybe go out on this for the first date, I guess. I mean, because you just meet the person, so you go on the first date. And if that goes on, then you continue to go out. But yeah, we are physical, but I think everyone, male or female, are physical because that's the first thing we see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't think physical attraction is just primarily associated to men. I mean, females have their way of seeing a man and how they look. Or he has to be 6 feet tall. He has to be buff. These certain things that they look for in a man until like Henry says, until that second step happens, and then those words come out of his mouth, and they don't understand exactly what they're saying. So everyone has their preference and what they're looking
Mhm.
for in a particular person. And I believe that when they're looking for that person, there are certain things that they're willing to put aside until something isn't what they want it to be. So if it was a particular female that a man is attracted to, and she may not be a perfect 10, but she has a certain vote of confidence about her, and she
Mhm.
carries herself a certain way, that is attractive to men.
Mhm.
And so it doesn't always have to be the 26, 36 plow, plow, plow. You know what I'm saying? So,
Mhm.
Mhm.
so I think that not every person falls into that category, and it
Mhm.
depends on where you're meeting these people at as well.
Yeah. That's true. That's true. Yeah. A viewer said, Julie Scott, we're all physical or physically attracted to one another. One another. No one sees the mind and heart until the conversation and time spent together happens. So that's very true. Yeah. All right. So, Curtis, did you get that? Do you think our viewer got their question answered?
Yeah. I
Okay.
think so.
All right. So another viewer asked, are people that are single looking for companionship or a relationship?
Hmm. Hmm.
Whoever wants to take that one first. Companionship or relationship? Or do you think
I
those two
think
things are
people.
different?
I think, go ahead.
So
Go ahead.
they go hand in hand. I think they go hand in hand. Initially, people, at least I can just speak for myself, right? Looking for
Hmm.
companionship, and then seeing how things go, and to develop into some type of relationship. Because sometimes there's a immediate expectation that as soon as you start talking to somebody, that you're supposed to be moving into a relationship, and we
Yep.
haven't
Hmm.
even got an opportunity to get to know one another.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm. Hmm.
And
Yep.
then there's these certain things like, if you haven't decided that you want to be in a relationship with me, by the time we get 6 months or something, or they have these certain restrictions, not only on the person but on themselves, and it kind of kills the relationship, because the the other person may not be ready to be in a relationship, but they have committed themselves to this companion. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. Makes sense.
Okay.
Yep.
So you're in a companionship. When you're a companionship, you know you're vibing together. You know you like each other. You have some commonalities. You're getting to know each other. So this is like the pre-phase before you get to know if you want to start building a relationship. Is that what you're saying, Howard? I think he froze again. But
Right,
hopefully I
and it's
understood
it's
that.
still
Yeah.
a form of a relationship, but when it's like, oh, now when you say boyfriend, girlfriend, or however you want to title it in the adult world,
Hmm.
things start changing, and if you're not having conversations about these changes as they occur in the companionship, as it transforms into a more committed relationship, then one person may be moving faster than the other person. So it's like,
Hmm.
wait, don't move out of turn.
Yeah. Have to be on the same page and on the same pace. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the only
These
way to do
I
that
agree
is
with
conversations,
to
that.
because
communicate.
people don't have
Hmm.
these conversations.
Yeah,
I
you're
agree
right.
with that. I agree with
You're
that.
right. They
I
just
agree too.
are those fortune tellers. They try to, predict or kind of like have that crystal ball to say, okay, yeah,
I'm not a
we're
relationship
doing this,
expert, but I've
this,
had a couple.
yeah, that, yeah, that you're at this point, so we should be this. And like you said, they're putting pressure on themselves, those limitations on themselves, as well as their the person that they're in companionship with, before it moves. Yeah, they've already gotten
Right,
the dress and the bridal party picked out, and
Most
you're not
definitely.
even anywhere
Yeah.
near that. So yeah,
Mhm.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Most definitely.
Got you.
I think
Mm-hmm.
that I
right.
think that's
But
the
it's
killer
but it's good
relationship
to
part.
have those conversations, though. You know,
Yeah,
you gotta have that conversation.
yeah.
I think you
So
have to be honest. Like you said, be honest. I would broaden the relationship and the companionship and put in there one more or a hookup because you have some that are just looking for the hookup.
Mm-hmm.
And if they're honest, let me just be honest and tell you this is all I want.
Yeah.
Instead of leading
Right,
someone astray and leading them astray by their emotions. And like Fedora was saying, she might be into you or he, either they have the gown, the shoes, and the party picked out, or he has the tux and the shoes and the cummerbund picked out, and you just looking for this is only temporary,
Yeah.
just be honest, but instead of being disingenuous and pulling on those emotions and saying, hey, you know what, I'm gonna do this to her or him just so I can have that one night, and then I'm gonna leave them alone.
Wow.
right.
You know.
I mean,
I
those
totally
things
agree.
occur. I think, if we're gonna put things into context, we have to be able to identify what we're discussing. Because if we're saying that, the question was, looking for a companionship or relationship, so the implied intent is that these people are have had this conversation as to, I'm a single person, but I'm open to dating, or I'm a single person and I'm not committed to anyone, or I'm a single person and but but I'm in a committed relationship. So, and these are the things that relationship that I'm trying to move into. And if the person can't do that, then you should be able to say that's not the person for me. And I think that's where we fail sometimes, because we want to force a square peg into a round hole because we believe that that person is the one for us. They may be a good friend to you, but they're not going to always be a person that you want to be in a relationship with. They might be a good person to hook up with every now and again, but they may not be the person that you want to be in a relationship with. So you have to be honest with yourself first.
It's true.
Yep.
Yeah, so true. And then a lot of times listen and actually hear what that person is saying. And as women, I can only speak for myself, but we have to ask the right questions, because a lot of times we don't inquire enough, right? A guy will say something and you're like, what does that mean? Instead of saying, okay, well, what does that mean? You think it in your head, you don't
Exactly.
speak it out, but you have to ask,
Right.
what does that mean? Instead of going back and, like I say, be the storyteller, or the person with the crystal ball and try to make it up in your head to say, oh, this was must have been what he meant. No, ask that person, what does it mean?
and
You're
end up being
you're
wrong.
almost, you're almost in a position, or whatever the lingo is, when they're almost out of a relationship and they're on their way, they're on the way out of a relationship and they're looking for something else, but they haven't quite ended it yet, whatever that terminology is. A lot of guys will kind of tell the female that, but they don't hear it. They listen, but they don't hear what the guy is saying, and they don't ask those questions, ask the right questions.
That's
So
very
yeah.
true.
Yeah,
Very
that's
true.
true.
You've
I
got
agree.
to ask you got to have those conversations, and you've got to ask those questions. I've learned that over the years. That you have to be very blunt
Yep.
and forward with what you're looking for, what kind of relationships are they in, what are they expecting, because a lot of times, people will lead you on, like Melissa said, people will lead you on just to get what they want. And you thinking you're in a relationship, and he's like, no, we're not dating, we just kicking it or whatever. And, and vice versa. I've seen it happen to men too. They thought they was in a relationship with this woman and she dating other people. So you do have to have those conversations with people. I started relationships with people in the past, and we ended up not dating. We ended up being very good friends, and are still friends to this day. So again, those conversations are very, very important. But I wanted to address Julie's question about the church and why they don't discuss these things. At my church, I'm a mentor in our young adult ministry, and so this is a very important topic to young adults, especially saved young adults. I'm saved and I'm single, so dating is very complicated for us, because we're committed to Christ, and we're trying to live a Christian lifestyle, and we're waiting until God sends us that spouse. And dating can be difficult when you're a Christian, because people might not understand, your lifestyle choices, and your beliefs and your morals. And so again, those conversations are very important. And I do think that the church needs to deal more with single people. They talk married stuff
Yeah.
all day long,
Hmm.
because I used to be one of those. I used to sit in church and just be frustrated because I would hear,
Yep.
oh, the man finds a wife, he finds a good thing. And I used to be
Hmm.
like, well, shoot, what's wrong with me then? I ain't got no husband yet, and I'm living right, and I'm doing right. I'm a
Hmm.
professional woman,
Hmm.
I got a good job. I don't need a man. I want a man in my life.
Hmm.
I don't
Yeah.
need a man in my life. And in other words, I need somebody to compliment me. I don't need you, so I have to depend on you. I want someone who's going to compliment me in a relationship, and we compliment each other, and that we can grow together and we can build something together. And
Mm.
I really think that the church needs to focus more on singles. and helping especially the young adults, because they really struggle with temptations and trying to live a Christian life and still date.
Uh,
Mm-hmm.
can I ask this question right quick, Joy? You brought up something in your conversation piece. You said I'm saved and single. So when you say I'm saved and single, and that when you meet that person in that conversation piece, do you tell them, look, I think you're a nice looking guy, but I got to tell you up front, I'm saved and I'm single. So if you thinking we about to fornicate and all this stuff like that, I'm not the person for you. Instead of keeping the conversation piece going and saying, hey, I really like him. Because he likes me, he's gonna respect my wishes of waiting until we're married, or if that's the choice that we decide to make, to get married, to you know do that, do whatever you want to do at that point. You know what I'm saying? So I think, I don't know. I'm just asking, is that in the conversation piece when you meet the guy? You say, hey, I'm saved and single. So if you're looking for the woman that's 6 months down the road, we're gonna be laying up and cuddling in the bed naked, it ain't about to happen. Is that in the conversation piece?
It's definitely in the conversation piece. I'm gonna bring it up because when we're discussing things and we're getting to know each other, that's one of the first things I'm gonna tell you. I'm a woman of the cloth. I'm an evangelist. I'm a Christian, and these are my beliefs, and this is how I feel. I date, but if you think we finna hook up and stuff like that, no, sir, that's not gonna happen. And if you can't respect that about me as a woman, then maybe I'm not the woman that you might want to be in a relationship with.
Mm-hmm.
If you just looking for somebody you could lay up with, that's not me. That's not
Mm-hmm.
gonna happen. So it's definitely a conversation piece. It's a deal breaker sometimes for some men because that's what they looking for.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And so I think with me being a woman of the cloth, it intimidates some men because they know that it's not going to work, or they're going to try to pursue me to see if they can challenge me to give
Ooh.
into the temptation. So
Mm-hmm.
I've had that happen too. Oh, she say she saved, but let me try this, let me try that. And so so
Right.
it's a challenge to them sometimes. Like, I'm
Mm-hmm.
gonna see if I can break
Mm-hmm.
her or
Right.
whatever. But no,
And then you don't need that type of person in your life anyway.
yeah,
So
you don't need that
yeah,
type of person in your life.
it's like
And
swipe
again, I said I mentor
right.
young adults that are Christians. So what kind of example would I set for these young people if they see me out here living the opposite of what I'm teaching them?
Mm-hmm.
I definitely don't want to do that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Howard or Henry, I saw Howard's hand up. Or
Oh,
Henry,
it's
you can
frozen, I
chime in
think.
on that if you like.
No, he's
If
back.
we answer the question about a saved woman, I mean,
No, a companionship or
oh,
relationship.
I think first, like someone said, you got to be honest first with each other. Then the companionship comes. Then after companionship comes relationship. I think sometimes we put the relationship first
For
without
companionship.
getting to know each other.
Yep.
You see, and that's one of the problems right
Yep.
there. You got to, because I'm a person. Just me speaking, just James speaking. I don't believe in falling in love. I believe in growing in love. So that's two different things.
Mm-hmm.
You see, so you got to get to know each other. The more you get to know each other, the more you like each other
Mm-hmm.
and love each other. You see, and I think that's one of the things that we do when we first start a relationship. We want to just start a relationship for companionship, and then before the honesty, and let the person know what you're looking for. This is what I'm looking for. This what I
Mm.
want to do, and hopefully, if you want to do the same thing, then we can have a relationship. Because if you don't get to know the person, you get caught up in this thing. Now you 6, 7 months, a year down the road, and now you start really, really knowing this person.
Mm-hmm.
Then like, oh man, this is not who I want to be with.
Thought that. Yep.
I should have told her this. I should have told her that. That's when
Mm-hmm.
that honesty comes in. And
Mm-hmm.
so sometimes we want something as when that physical attraction comes in, we want it so bad that we start skipping phases. We want to go right into the relationship. And that's not possible. I don't think.
Yep.
That's
Say
just
that
my
again. Mm-hmm. That's
that's,
good. Yeah, because
that's
I want to piggyback on what you said about building that companionship, and then it grows into that relationship, and you don't fall in love. You fall in lust in the beginning. That's what you
Thank you,
fall
thank you.
into. But
Yes,
love is a choice. I always say you choose to love a person. Love is a
yes.
choice, and you grow in that love, and it builds, like you said. So yeah, I agree with that. What were you going to say, Pastor Miller?
No, I agree. When you meet someone, you shouldn't automatically jump into the relationship phase. Like, okay, you rush into that relationship. Get to know the individual first.
Hmm.
Okay, well, you know what? Let's be friends. My husband and I, we started out as friends, and we got to be very close friends. And then our relationship evolved, so to speak.
Hmm.
And many people want to skip that friendship aspect when, what, let's really get to know each other. Let's get to know my likes and my dislikes. So let's be companions
Hmm.
first. So let's hang out, let's get to know each other. Let's go bowling, let's go watch a movie, and let's go out to eat. And we did all those things without trying to throw in the physical aspect in there.
Yeah.
Okay. Because now when we met, we weren't saved. We didn't have a relationship with Christ, but we
Hmm.
got to know each other because I would like, bro, I'm old school, even not saved. You're gonna have to
Hmm.
work. You got to put in
Hmm.
some work before I jump in there. You got
Consider
to put in
that.
some
Yeah.
work. Let me see if I really want this to be. But
Hmm.
our relationship grew.
What does that
So
mean?
from companionship, and we both understanding that we are companions.
Hmm.
We're friends first. We're
Hmm.
companions. Let's hang out for a bit.
Hmm. Yeah. And I always say,
When you
get past the representative stage.
Ha! That's good.
yeah,
Fedora.
We
when
all
you say
putting up that
work, what does that
representative.
mean?
Yeah.
And then and then
What'd you say, Howard?
I was saying there was a couple of things that came up, and I was just wanted to expound upon because some things can be misinterpreted, and then they're not always properly explained, and the expectations are not clearly set. So Joy was saying that I'm saved, and I'm single. What does that mean to someone? I mean, I'm another saved and single person may have a different definition of that. You know what I'm saying? And what does that mean? And what are your expectations going into conversation with this person uh, as a saved and single person? And then I think Miss Miller, she said something about and
Oh, cutting out.
and the expectations that are given within the within this within these conversations that are being had. Uh, uh, because someone may be saying to themselves, "I'm putting in work. I'm putting in work to see you for the right things that entice you to be more attracted to me than you are to someone else, because ultimately that's the goal, is to make you yourself more attractive to the other person than anyone else, right? And how it is, and it's not the same for every person that you meet. So I'm asking Joy, and then if Miss Miller could expound on hers, what would be your expectations?
So when I say I'm single and I'm saved, that means I'm open to dating, I'm open to companionship, moving forward and growing into a relationship. However, there will not be any intimacy. And when I say intimacy, I mean, the sexual aspect of a relationship. That's not going to happen unless we reach the point where we feel like we're going to get married. I'm not going to engage in any premarital sex.
So
Hmm.
right. So how do you cut off the lusting part if you're defining yourself as saved and single?
I try not to put myself in those type of situations where it's going to get to that point and I get weak in my flesh. Like, I'm not We ain't Netflix and chill. We ain't doing none of that. You know, don't put yourself in the type
But
of
why not?
situation where you're going to be tempted like that. I mean, yes, you have to spend time with a
So
person and get
what
to
you're
know a
saying is that
person.
in every
Now, look, I've been there. I wasn't always saved, so I don't want nobody thinking that I wasn't always saved. So I'm speaking from experience. I know now where I am and the point that I am in my life. I don't want to risk uh any kind of compromise or anything from my beliefs just to satisfy my flesh for 5 or 10 minutes.
Mhm.
I
And
want more than that for myself. I
So Joe,
respect myself too much, and I respect that my body is a temple and that the Lord lives inside of me, and He wants what's best for me. And whoever He sends for me is not gonna go that route. We're gonna wait and go there together when the time is right.
so what you're really saying, if you never let the opportunity present itself, you never have to make that choice, right?
Right.
Okay, okay, I got you there.
mhm.
That's understandable.
And then Pastor Miller, what we he
Uh,
you.
he kind of went in and out, but I
Yeah, he
guess
was
it was within the question was an aspect of when I said when I met my husband, he would have to put in the work.
mhm.
Now, I was not saved, so I was raised old school. Now, old school is you don't give your body until you are ready to give your body. It could be, married and no, so you don't do it. Well, back then it was, my mom always told me to wait until I got married. Okay, did I? No, I didn't. But now I wouldn't say no, I
Mhm.
didn't.
Mhm.
When I say put in the work, you need to value who I am as an individual. If I'm being honest with you and I'm enjoying myself with you, appreciate who I am and get to know me as an individual. Joyce said it. I don't want to have to compromise what I believe just to please you. So if that's who I am, either you can stay and get to know me or you can get to stepping, because if that's all you want to know, when I say put in the work, get work to get to know me. Spend time with me. Just like I consider your feelings, please consider mine. But don't ask me to compromise my beliefs.
Mhm.
Because if I just lay with you because that's what you want, then that makes me weak. I'm doing it because, well, let me compromise this part of who I am, that part that I value the most.
Mhm.
I shouldn't have to do that. And you shouldn't expect
so
me
I
to, but if
guess the
you do
question
expect me
is
to,
um
Mhm. It's true.
I guess the question I guess
Oh, you cut out again, Howard.
I guess the follow question to that would be how is it that you're finding yourself in relationships with people that you have to continuously explain this if they are the if
Yeah, most times I don't think
they said
and
that you are, or are you trying to
say,
date someone that's not
oh, you cutting out, Howard. I think he's saying, and correct me if I'm wrong once he comes back in, is that if you're in a companionship or relationship with a person that is trying to compromise your beliefs, then you don't necessarily need to be in a relationship with that person. And I think that you probably would not be in a relationship
cut
or
them off?
companionship with that person because you would have found that out in the beginning
that's
if
right.
you once you were honest to say
Mm-hmm.
this and that and explain what that meant, and then that person was like, oh well, I'm looking for something else, like, when we go out, hey, I want to go back to the house, and I'm gonna hit it or whatever. Okay, well, deuces, it was nice meeting you. I appreciate the dinner. You have a great life, and deuces. And you go on your merry way, and you don't need, like I say, at this age that we are now, you don't have time. My peace is my most prideful thing. It is my most prized possession. And if I'm not in my peace And if it's too much drama, if it's this, if it's that, then I can say chuck up the deuces, baby, and keep it moving, and I'm happy and my life is beautiful. I'm not single, but for the when I was single, that was my motto. It was like, okay, no, I'm getting off of this train. I was the kid that said, "Mama, I don't want to play anymore. I'm going in the house and slamming the door." That's where I was at before I met my mate, because it's hard. It's hard out here being single. For real. It's hard out, for single people that are single and in the dating field, because there's not truthfulness. People are not coming forthright and
Being
saying the truth.
disingenuous.
Yeah, and it's not
That's right.
fair. They want their cake and eat it too. And then once you tell them, then it's like, oh, they're looking at you like something's wrong with you. No, sweetheart, something is wrong with you. I know what I want. Do you? And I'm not willing to compromise myself just to be in companionship with, a person that's not equally yoked. Going back to the Bible with me.
Mm.
So yeah, I will wait, you know, in
Okay,
that aspect.
we have a question from the viewer, Fedora. She says,
What's up?
for the context of this discussion, is the dating process considered the companionship phase?
Guess it
Pastor
could
Miller, I'm
be.
gonna let you ponder on that question there, and then you can give us an answer on that one.
No pondering. Yes, I mean it is the companionship phase. We are companions. We are dating. We are not in a relationship. Now that's if the dating phase is, if okay, well, I've dated this person 2 times, it's not going to work out. I'm dating this person. But if it, once you establish that, you know what, okay, now we are in a relationship. Okay, you're in a relationship. But as far as dating goes, I do believe that that is the companionship phase. You are getting to know one another. We are companions.
Sure.
And if you find like dating, usually people date more than one person. At
Yeah,
least guys
yeah,
do, right? And you
yeah.
go on these dates, and when you say date, that does not mean any sexual relations, you know, uh,
For
unless
most,
that's
for
what you
some,
rolling with. Yeah, for some, that's what I
for
said.
some.
Unless that's what you rolling with,
I
if
don't like
that's what
that
that means, you
question.
have to define that. So when you're dating a different number of people, trying to find that right person, just like when you trying to find a right book, right? You look at that cover of that book and you like, oh no, I don't want to read that book. So when you're trying to find that person that fits with you, then you date with different people. And so once you find that right person, it's like, okay, I see this person and we're gonna, and you had that conversation with that individual and be like, okay, do you feel the same way that I feel? All right, so now we're not going to date anymore. We're not going to date other people anymore. We're only exclusively going
We're
to date one
exclusive, yeah.
another. And now we're starting to build this
So
companionship, to learn
Fedora,
each other more, and then we build into a relationship, hopefully. Yes, Howard. Oh, you froze.
so you use, I mean, just to the use the analogy about the book, which I mean, I think that's a great example because I'm not. I mean, how many times you're walking maybe in the mall or something, you walk by a bookstore, and a particular book cover catches your eye,
Mm-hmm.
right? So you walk over to the book, you pick it up, you examine it. I mean, hardbound, hardcover is nicely put together, and then you
Yep.
go read the preface, right, or the
Mm-hmm.
prelude, and this story. The backstory seems kind of interesting,
Mm-hmm.
and then you go and you read the first chapter, and
Yep.
you
Oh, you cut out.
still believe that this book is going to be a good book. You're struggling to get through the book because you think it's a good. You you heard that it was a good book, and you just keep reading it until you finally say, "This book is garbage. I'm putting it down, and I'm gonna walk away from it." People don't do that with
Mm,
relationships.
mm.
You say people don't what?
Don't do that
People
with
do,
relationships.
People
they
don't do
don't do
that
that.
well in relationships.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, that's true.
They
But
don't.
not all relationships work out. I mean, that's true. You try, but you tried to convince yourself in the beginning when you read that first chapter and you didn't get through that first chapter. For me, the type of person I am, I would have been like, I tried. Uh, no,
Put
I'm
the
not
book
finna
down
waste
and walk
this
away.
time. I'm gonna put this book down and I'm gonna walk away. But in life, you're right. Most of us, like I said at the beginning, we're not honest with ourselves, right? I'm at an age now where I'm honest with myself, and I know when I need to put that book down and I need to walk away. I'm not gonna be the person that's gonna be like, oh well, let me try. Oh well, let me get to the second chapter. Oh, well, I can change. Oh, I can. I don't have time for that. I'm too old. Okay, maybe back in my 20s, that's what I was doing, but I
Did,
learned from that.
yeah.
The
Did
age that
anybody
I
ask a
am
question
now,
about
I don't
does
have time for
they
that.
asked about education and everything, but does is are finances a factor
Ooh,
in starting a relationship?
ooh, I don't know. I mean, it has a significant
I'm gonna
point, but I
pause on that
wouldn't
one.
say starting the relationship. Um, well, the relationship, because we're back on companionship. When you're in companionship, you're learning that person, so you'll kind of find out. But it is important when you get into a relationship with the person. Yeah, it is important. Um, but that is to each his own. Like everybody, it's different for everyone. It's not one blanket thing. Like some men can't handle a woman making more than them. Some, men want to be the breadwinners and don't want the woman to work, vice versa, whatever. But whatever works for that relationship will have to go for that relationship. But it is important. It is important. But it just depends upon those two individuals that are
Why
in that
do
relationship. Oh, you froze again.
He's having a delay. He's in Hawaii, so he's having a
I
short
know.
delay in his connection.
Hmm.
yeah I think that but you said something that was interesting too, and you said that some men don't or can't or
I think he was talking about the part with making more money than the female making more money than the male. For some that's an issue.
Woo.
For some it's not.
Well, Miss Milton, go ahead. Uh, while we discussing that, let me ask this question real quick.
Okay.
Uh, Hey Henry, do you believe men and women? Well, yeah. Do you believe men and women expect too much from one another, and that is why want to be those who that don't want to be single are still single and unhappy? That's the first part of the question. For instance, a young lady stated that she doesn't want a man who has children, yet she has five and by different fathers, and he has to make at least six figures, yet she doesn't work and is living off child support.
Oh,
Oh,
that,
yeah.
that
That's what I
question
said.
is
Yeah.
funny.
That's
wow,
a viewer question. Oh,
That's a double standard.
that's not realistic there.
I know, right?
No, that's
No,
not
that's
real.
not
No,
realistic.
It's not.
no.
What a sister, if
Curtis,
I
can you
would have,
repeat that?
okay.
Oh, Howard's back. Repeat it.
Okay. It says, do you believe men and women expect too much from one another, and that is why those who don't want to be single are still single and unhappy? For instance, a young lady stated that she doesn't want a man who has children, yet she has five and by different fathers, and he has to work at least six figures, yet she doesn't work and is living off child support.
Mm-mm. And we said that that's not realistic, Howard. We said
No.
that's crazy.
I continue with that. I don't think that's realistic. Even if I met a female that her outlook on life was like that, then I'm cutting that off right there. It won't be no 5 minutes from now, an hour from now. That's
It's
after that come
immediate,
out her
right?
mouth. After that come out her mouth, it was done yesterday.
Yeah.
There's
I know
no
that's the
talking
truth.
anymore. I
How do
mean,
you?
this is not gonna work.
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna waste your
No.
time, or my minutes on my phone, or whatever.
He said minutes on his phone.
How do you expect somebody to live by a standard you can't even live by? You
Thank
got
Well,
you.
5 kids, no job, and you live on child support.
Okay.
So you want that person to live at a higher standard than you? That's
Okay.
crazy. That doesn't make no sense whatsoever.
It
Okay,
does
I'm gonna
that's
tell
not.
that's
y'all
like
what
a
that's
that's
called.
like a That's like
I'm
someone saying you can't support my lifestyle, like her saying you can't support my lifestyle.
It's,
She
Hmm.
can't support
it's
her own lifestyle.
Curtis.
So I know I can't, that's crazy. Wow.
That
I'm
is.
So
gonna
That
tell
it
y'all
is.
sounds.
viewers what's that.
I
No,
like the
that's
comment that
selfish.
Miss Ben.
That's selfish.
That's selfish.
That's straight
Very,
selfish.
very.
Selfish and
Well,
ridiculous.
Hmm.
that's
Yeah.
called the come up, y'all. If y'all don't know what that means, that's called the come up.
Yeah.
That's called she looking for the come up. That's all that is,
That's
and
a
that's trouble. Like Henry said, that's
But
trouble
what? Okay,
right in
so let's
front of
put this in context then.
you. Okay. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I think he calls. I have another question. What are your thoughts on online dating and finding a mate now that we're in this era?
Mm.
I don't believe in online dating.
No.
Damn, man.
No, because
Mm.
because you don't know who you're talking to, or who I mean, they could be online, they could have pictures of someone else. I'd rather meet you face to face and we talk face to face, eye to eye. Because when you're
I'm.
talking face to face and eye to eye, it's a whole different approach.
Mhm. But there
I mean,
is some part of the online dating aspect that you do meet the person face to face. Just throwing
yeah,
that out there.
maybe.
All right. What
Oh, I
about
mean, maybe
you?
we. Hmm, go
What
ahead.
about you,
I'm good. I'm good.
Joy?
I'm not against online dating. I have several friends who met their spouses on online dating sites, and I've been encouraged to get on some. I haven't joined any yet, but again, but I agree with James too. People are out there catfishing people. I had a dude try to catfish me, and something was just off from the beginning. So I was like, this is, I'm very leery when people approach me online sometimes, especially, I go to your profile and it's just one picture there, no information, or it just looks suspect, and the nature
Hmm.
of my job keeps me heightened about things like that online. So
Hmm.
you don't know who you're meeting at first. So I understand it, and I think it's a good idea, but you have to be careful
Yeah.
when you're meeting people online, and that's just the bottom line. But I
Mhm.
wanted to go back and talk about that financial situation there for a minute. I do
Hmm.
think that uh some men are intimidated by women who make more money than them. Um, and then vice versa too. Some women, like Curtis said, they looking for the come up. They looking for the dude with the money who's gonna take care of them and fly them out, so they can, be on Instagram talking about I got flew out and all that kind of stuff. So again, I
Why?
have no problem if I asked you out on a date, then I'm gonna pay for the date. And vice versa. If you ask me out on a date, then I expect the man to pay for the date. I don't expect for the end of the evening he'd be like, okay, we go split this bill. No, you asked me out.
Y'all,
We ain't splitting nothing.
y'all
If
excuse me.
I know
I
that's
ask
the
you
truth.
out on the date, then I'm gonna pay for the date. And I've done
Hmm.
that before. But don't
Hmm.
ask me out on a date and then at the end of the evening you like, okay, we splitting the bill. I had this and
Hmm.
you had no,
Hmm.
sir. You asked me out. You should pay the
Yeah.
bill.
Hmm.
Um
Y'all excuse me for a second. I'm trying to find my charger, please.
Oh, no worries. No
um
worries. Henry.
but
Yeah,
yeah,
I can get down with that.
I mean
Yeah.
I mean, I think that
it's only
that's
fair.
valid. I mean, yeah.
Hmm. It
But
is.
don't say let's go out to eat and then you take me to McDonald's and then when it's time for me to take you out, you want to go to Ruth's Chris.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yep. You're right. You're
Exactly.
right. Yep. It goes both ways. Hmm.
And I think
Well, I
uh
wanted to address the comment. I mean, we hear it all the time, but why do women believe that men are intimidated? Define that because they make more money than them. I mean, that gets thrown around a lot, but what what
um
what makes women believe that? I mean, describe that to me.
well, I dated someone and I made more money than he did. And I don't know, sometimes I guess he felt like I wasn't flaunting it in his face that he made more money than I did, But again, if we talking about going out to dinner and you ask me where I want to go and I say Ruth Chris, and you like, well, I ain't got, be honest with me and say, well, I don't have that kind of money. I'm fine with that. We can go to Applebee's or something like that and do the 2 for $20. I'm not above the 2 for $20. But don't try to break yourself to try to impress me. You know what I'm saying? I don't want you feeling like I'm putting you out of your manhood because I asked and you think I'm high maintenance now because you asked me where I wanted to go. I like nice things, so this is what I like to do. So, work with your means, but I'm not. I don't think
so.
I'm
Does
better
it make
than
them
that.
intimidated, or does it make them aware?
I think I know. Well, the gentleman that I was involved with, I think it made him intimidated because he knew the type of caliber of man that I was expecting to be around, and be out with. So I think it did bother him, the fact that I made more money than him and that, he couldn't give me the things that I wanted or, take me to places that I wanted to go all the time. But it wasn't necessarily about that. But I guess it really did bother him because, he's like, I got this type of woman and I'm not meeting these expectations. Okay, well, look, we're working on a relationship. We're here to build each other up. I'm trying to encourage you and tell you how to, improve yourself and grow. I'm trying to help you with your business. I'm giving you advice, and it just, he took it the wrong way, and then he was like, I can't deal with you. You high maintenance, blah, blah, blah. And, it was over. So, I was like, wow, really? So.
Yeah, I think he was dating. I don't like, that's a harsh word, but I don't know if he was like, you was just dating the wrong person. You date somebody who was not ready to be in your chapter. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So I think that he just wasn't prepared. He wasn't prepared for you. He had not prepared himself for becoming or getting into a companionship or a relationship. Maybe he's only at the level where he can be in a companionship, but he has not prepared himself to be with someone like you. And I think that sometimes is an issue that we don't properly prepare ourselves to go into these things. If we're getting ready to take a major exam, we go home, we study, we prepare ourselves so that when we go in there, we understand the content and the context of the exam so that we can get the highest score possible. And we don't always do that. We just go out and say, okay, I'm ready. Only a small percentage of people can walk into an exam room and ace it without studying.
Yeah.
And I mean, we have.
So you have to prepare and set yourself up to be
particular type of person.
Yeah.
If we haven't, then that's our responsibility to do that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So what if he doesn't make more money than you? Do we make that particular individual, if he doesn't make more money, do we make him feel uncomfortable because he doesn't, or do we appreciate him where he is in his life at that particular moment and not belittle him and say, not take it away from you, Joy, not belittle him and say, well, let me help you come up in life. No, I appreciate you where you are right now. And what do you want to know? I mean, what more do you want out of life? And we get to that point eventually. But in my companionship phase, if I really enjoy your company and you really want to take me out and you want to go to McDonald's, shoot, I could use a Big Mac. Can you supersize it? And I appreciate you where you are.
Mm-hmm.
If you can only take me bowling, I like you enough, and I appreciate you where you are.
Yeah.
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 And I think Joy, she addressed that, and she said that she was helping him to try to grow his business and everything. But at the same time, if you're a type of person that you don't take instructions well, and maybe not instructions from someone that that you feel like you should be more prepared to be with, then that could be a struggle too. I don't like to say that it makes them intimidated by you, but it does show that they have a lack of experience in the area that you're in.
Yeah.
I have a. Go ahead, Henry. And I have a question waiting.
I think sometimes when you get in a relationship like that, or you with a person who's not making as much money as you are, and you want to bring him to that next level, you have to get to the. It's called how you bring it to them. You got to bring it to them in a way that they think that, okay, this was my ideal, and you got to realize who you're dealing with when dealing with a person like that. Some people don't like for you to give them that advice. I think you should do this. I think you should do that. Because then they'll start taking it the wrong way. That's when the companionship come in. You start knowing the person that you are dealing with, and you know how to bring certain things to him or her. So him or her won't feel like you're talking to them instead of talking with them. So you got to understand who you're dealing with. So that's how I do it. Because sometimes some people don't like to take advice, regardless how good it is. I mean, it might be the best advice in the world, but no, I don't like the way you brought it to me. So because it's all who you're dealing with.
There's a viewer.
I like this next question.
Maggie Inslee put out. She says, I don't think men are intimidated by a woman's money as much as they feel a woman with a full-time career can't give them the time they expect from a woman. Men feel if a woman is busy that they begin to neglect or are neglectful of their time. But if a man is always working, it's just business. So it's like a double standard. Like when women, we neglect the man, but when the man is doing the same thing that the woman is doing, working full time, then it's I'm working. I'm doing this for us. I'm working. You just got to deal with me not being there or doing this or that. But when a woman is the same way in their career, then a man feels neglected and it becomes an issue in the relationship. Good point.
I don't remember her saying that.
That's what it says on the screen.
You added some extra words for Dora.
Yes, she did, Howard. She did.
I'm summarizing.
Nah, you added I read it. You added some extra words to that.
So whatever. I'm summarizing.
Yeah. You summarizing, huh?
A full-time career.
That's what it says. A full-time career.
She said that
it does with a full-time career can't give them the time they expect.
Right. I'm saying that's what she said, but she didn't say nothing about the men part.
She did. She says men feel if a woman is busy that they being negligent of their time, but if the man is always working and busy the same way, it's just business. I'm not making this stuff up. I'm reading it verbatim.
Okay.
And I added my summary at the end. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
But was she lying though? But was she lying? Was she lying?
No.
I mean, from the male perspective.
I don't think that she's lying. I think that but understand the difference between a woman with a career and a woman with a job. A man with a career. She said a woman with a career.
Say it again, Henry.
And so we know the difference because she said it. She said a career and a job. I mean, and a career.
Right. So if you're dating someone who is not career minded, then they won't get it. Because if you're in a career, then you are grinding. I mean, you really don't have time. But if you put yourself out for relationship status, then there is a level of expectation that time for me. People with careers, there's really no white space on their calendar.
You're right.
And you're going to be in the dating scene, then it's your responsibility to set aside time for that man. Same way for the man to set aside time for that woman.
Yep.
I agree.
But what about that woman with a full-time job that's trying to grind to get to that career, to get to that next level? What if she's really trying to grind?
That's okay.
Yeah, I agree.
That's cool. But don't say you want to be in a relationship and you don't want to set aside time for the companion that you want to be in a relationship with. It doesn't matter if it's a man or a woman. If you're not ready to be in a relationship, stay grinding.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
I
true.
agree. If you don't have the time,
But if
then
you have to
don't give
you
into
have to set aside
it.
time.
You
Yeah.
career on it, so you do this.
If
You
you're
know, you do
really
that.
interested in a person, you're going to make the time. You're going
Yep.
to find the time
Right.
to
It's true.
be with that individual.
Mhm.
Don't tell me you want to talk to me and then, or you're interested in taking me out and then I don't hear from you for 3-4 weeks and then all of a sudden you calling me out the blue. Hey, how you doing? No, that's inconsistency is the biggest turn off there is. And if you want the relationship, they'll make time for it and you'll make
Yeah,
time for it too. If you're
that's
interested in
true.
a person, you'll make time for it. You'll be like, hey, I'm blocking off these hours right here. Let's go grab some brunch or let's go catch a movie. But you're gonna make time when you're
I'll say this:
interested in
for
pursuing an
every
individual.
action,
Yep.
Yeah, I don't think 24 hours is a long time. You really look at it.
Right.
24 hours in a day. Now, if you can't find time 24 hours, it don't always have to be the amount of time, it's the quality of your time that you spend
That's
together.
it.
That's it.
That's true.
You can
That's
spend
very
But
8 hours together. It's not quality time. It means nothing. You see?
Yeah.
So you can
Well, I
get
have a question from a viewer. A viewer submitted this question to the single panelists today. They want to know the viewer wants to know what is your actual status? Who or what are you looking for? What are your deal breakers? Which we already have that question, so we can answer that question. What type of person you're looking for? Um, what are you looking for, and what is the deal breaker? And she says yes, she's seeking, or somebody put they seeking. So because you're single on the panel, they want to know what's your status, what you looking for, what's the deal breaker. Tell the people, tell this person what's the deal breaker and what you're looking for in companionship and relationship.
Yep.
Companionship that transition to relationship, because like Pastor Miller said
Yep.
and Howard said, people when we start talking and hanging out a little bit, oh, you think we're in a relationship, but we're in a companionship phase, because if I read the preface of the chapter and that's not for me, then I'm closing the book and moving on to a new book. So people need to understand that. But they want to know from you, the single panelists today, who and what are you looking for in a relationship or companionship? I think the word was companionship.
Yep.
And then what are the deal breakers for you?
So Howard, go first.
Howard, you want Howard to go first?
Sure.
I got your back, Howard. She's picking on you today. I got your back.
Hey, Curtis is single too now.
But he's not on the
All
panel.
right, so
He's the host.
So I'm looking for a companion, a friend, a partner, a lover, and hopefully ending up with someone to spend the rest of my life with. A companion to do things with in life, a friend to laugh with and share things with, a partner to help make life-changing decisions, a lover to hold and caress, make love, to lay in bed and watch TV. I mean, and as we get to know each other more, you know what I'm saying, and hopefully that turns into, these are things that, that to me, as we are in our companionship, that I'm looking for, and those things have to internalize with me in order for me to feel safe to move to the next level. And if you're not displaying those, then we pretty much stay where we are until those things transpire. It doesn't mean that I don't want to be with you. It just means that you haven't demonstrated that you're ready to be this person.
And what are some deal breakers?
Deal breakers, I mean, dishonesty.
Dishonesty.
Be honest, be upfront. if I'm the type of person that say we're in a companionship, or and I call you, you don't answer the phone, I'm not tripping, because I know people get busy. I know people have lives. So it's not an expectation that you need to be calling me all the time. Or I shouldn't have to be that expectation like that.
Mhm.
You know, and then also understanding me, because the way you communicate, I might not communicate that way. So, like Fedora said earlier, if you ask me a question and I believe that I answered that question to the fullest, and you walk away from the table, to me, you understood. Don't come back later and say, well, you said this and that's not what you meant. I'm like, well, I said that, and that is what I meant. And if it's not what you understood it to be, then you should have asked a follow-on question to make sure that I communicated to you what you want to hear, and not in that particular exact words that you wanted. Like men kiss people in relationships say certain things that make people feel a certain way, but then they come back and say, well, you didn't say you love me.
And if that's what a person needs, then they need to say that.
Okay.
It's like, yeah, we need to teach. Yeah, we need to teach each other how to treat. You need to teach a person how to treat you, or teach a
Right.
person how you receive love. Let them know what it is, that because we give love the way we receive love, right? But that
Right.
might not be the way the person receives it. So we need to find out from that person, how do they receive love? You know, what's their language? And then
Yeah.
we meet that for that person, and then they can meet that for us, and then everybody's, okay. Yeah. I'm
I don't
reading
know
the
who this
comments.
person
Trying to
is,
say
but
I
they
said what I
hilarious.
said.
Okay, Joy, same question.
Like Melissa said earlier, I'm old school. You know, my parents were married for 49 years before they both passed away. And they really lived out till death do us part. My dad took care of my mom till she passed away. And then he just recently passed away in October. And I truly believe it was from a broken heart. He just missed my mom so bad. But, you know, I want somebody that I can build with, someone who's hardworking, someone who's honest, who's not afraid to show their emotions, not afraid to open up to me. If we're going to be together, we have to learn to be vulnerable with one another. We have to have trust. Communication is a big thing. You know, I can't expect you, like Howard said earlier, I can't expect you to read my mind. You know, I come in the house and you're like, what's wrong with you? And fine, nothing. You know, you can't do that. You know, they're not, people aren't mind readers. You have to be able to communicate, express yourself. Someone can make me laugh. I love to laugh. I love to have fun. But then, I do have a serious side too. You know, when I'm about business and I'm handling business, then I'm handling business, But yeah, that's what I'm looking for. So deal breakers for me is inconsistency, dishonesty, and just drama in your life. Again, be upfront with a person. Tell them what you're looking for. Don't tell me, when we're alone, oh, we're dating and you're my girl and this and that, and you got 5, 6, 7 other women, and then they slide in my DMs talking about that's my man. I don't have time for drama like that. First of all, I'm too old for that kind of stuff. I'm to the point now in my life. I don't have time for games. You either know what you want or you don't. And it was funny because last night I was at the tailgate. Who was at the tailgate, Curtis? And guy was trying. This guy was trying to
like,
Curtis.
I was hanging out, but this guy was trying to talk to one of my friends, and she just asked him a simple question. She was like, "Where do you see yourself in 5 years?" And he was like,
"That's a good question." He didn't know how to answer it.
He didn't know how to answer it. He's too busy trying to get a hookup for the evening. But he couldn't even answer the question.
What was the conversation like? Because that's like I mean, we out
But
here
we were
having
all
fun.
talking
We
about
hanging
life, and
out.
we
We
were talking about
chilling. Yeah.
we were talking about, you know, life and our careers and what we're doing, and you know, just things like that. And you know, we're just conversating them, you know, what brought you to El Paso? Most of the people that come here is because of the military. Okay, so you're in the military. Okay, so what are your goals? What are you know, she's like, where you see yourself in 5 years? He said he was
That's
in
a
the military.
legitimate question.
She was like, where you see yourself in 5 years? And he was like, well, I don't know. I kind of want to do this. I kind of want to do that. And you know, he was like, well, what do you want to do? She's like, well, I got this, and this. And he was like, dog, he was like, you just got everything planned out. That's so aggressive. And I was like, how is that
What?
aggressive for having goals
Next.
the way you want to be in 5 years? And she was
We don't
like,
have time
if
for
I
that.
put my mind to a goal and that's what I want to do, then I'm gonna make the moves to help me achieve that goal. She was like, so how was that aggressive?
That's
She was
not
like,
aggressive.
that's not aggressive. That's smart thinking. That's planning. I mean, if you don't
Just
know
like
what
how I
you
was said earlier, that
I
person is
don't know. I
not
mean,
not
in
if
that
that was
ready,
spot.
me,
Just not ready.
not
that was
ready.
me in that conversation, if that was me in that conversation, and I mean, where I see myself in 5 years, I probably would have asked you to you should have you could have asked me that 5 years because I've probably reached that level, but still moving forward uh
Yeah, but you
and
would have been able to answer it.
But you could have
refining,
answered it.
these things that I've been working on.
Yeah.
But
So,
to
but you would have
say
been able to
it's
answer it.
aggressive, I believe that he meant it as, yeah, but I don't think he was prepared to be. I wouldn't have been thinking about. I mean, I would have had to say, "Oh shit, wait a minute, hold up, what we talking about here?" So we can, circle this back around. But like you said, y'all was talking about life things, and he said that was aggressive. I think that the context of that was probably taken. His comment was may have been taken out of context because not meaning that that it was wrong that she had mapped out her plan and she had. I think he probably used the wrong word.
So what did he mean by that?
And should have more say. I mean, I would. He probably said, "Oh, I mean, you seem to have laid everything out as to what you want in life. You know what I'm saying, or where you see yourself in life." Versus, he might be the guy that I just want to get up and make it to work the next day. You know what I'm saying?
Okay,
And
well,
he
it
might
didn't say that.
that means that if you're that person, then if you.
I mean, if he's
If
that
you're
type of
that
person,
person,
then
then
okay,
the
I'm not
person
gonna judge.
that you're speaking with, that this person, right?
I'm gonna let Henry answer the viewer
But
question, and I'm gonna come back to you for those.
there is
My
judgment. There's always going to be judgment.
No, I mean, I wouldn't judge the person if they didn't know. I mean, but you would
Because
know
it
if
seemed as if
let's
when he
yeah.
said that the conversation, when he said that it was aggressive, that turned it into a judgment type thing, like, oh,
Well,
you know what
yeah,
I'm saying?
he was
And instead
judging,
of
but I'm
trying
saying
to
yeah.
understand and trying to understand what he meant by aggressive, you know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying?
Yeah, it probably did turn the conversation because
I don't,
that's more of a negative
right,
connotation when you do say the word aggressive. Like you said, he could have probably used a different word and
right,
he may not have meant it that way.
right,
But yeah, most people
right,
know what they're gonna do for what they have plans. Now, not to say that they're gonna work out, but you do have a vision for yourself. That's why we have vision boards. You kind of know what you want to do with your life. And if you don't, then yeah, that's that person and you can decide whether you want to you know put them in the lineup or ex-nate them out. But what you were gonna say, Curtis?
And I was gonna let Henry answer this question. Mr. Henry answer this question, and
All
then
right,
we're
go
gonna
for
get
it.
back to that discussion you
oh,
about.
okay. Mine is very simple. Number one is honesty, and they happy with themselves first. Because when I meet females, I ask them, "How do you feel about yourself?" If they give me an answer like, "I don't know, I'm not happy," then therefore, if you're not happy, then it's impossible for me to make you happy. I can enhance your happiness, but I can't make you completely happy. You see?
Yeah.
Yep.
You understand? Am I?
Exactly.
I mean, maybe I'm.
Yeah,
No,
That's just my opinion.
you're correct. You're
You know,
correct.
you're very correct.
because I think that's one of the things that's that cause a lot of problems in a relationship. I'm just looking for someone to make me happy. So
Mm.
therefore, my happiness determines your happiness. So when I'm not happy, you're not happy. So therefore, I don't have no one to turn to say, hey, I'm just down, baby. We down, then. You see? So I'm,
Yeah.
just got to have happiness. And
And that's
turn off
called
is being
codependency.
dishonest. And a turn off is being dishonest. And not being able to work through small problems that we have. So if you give me someone who knows how to make themselves happy and that's honest, then that relationship is unlimited. It's
Okay.
unlimited.
Yep.
So how are we going? I mean, Henry, we're going to stay on you because I got another viewer question. They ask, is physical appearance important?
Is physical appearance important? Yes, it is. But my main thing is mental health.
I'm with you, Henry.
That's my
So
main
let's
thing.
again. It's all about context.
Okay, yes, of course. I mean, this is important. It's important because we are physical people, But you can be the most healthiest person in the world and still have bad personality.
Mm.
So, that's a hard one there. That's a hard one there.
All
Yeah.
right.
That's a hard one.
Joy.
So physical attraction is it important, right?
Yes, it is. It
It
is. I
depends
think.
on what you are physically attracted to, right?
Yeah.
So
Correct.
it's important to everyone because it is what you get drawn to. I mean,
Yeah.
you do
Visual.
nice car, nice house, or she wears lovely lipstick, but that don't mean she J-Lo fine. She just has her physical appearance, you know what I'm saying? And that's what you are
Confidence.
attracted to. Like somebody might be attracted to two balls on the top of a female head, and find that attractive.
Chung Lee, say it.
I ain't studying you.
That's all right, Fedora.
You know what? I'm gonna punch both of y'all. You and Curtis.
Joy, is the physical appearance?
I was waiting for this question to come up because I saw a post that Ricky Smiley had made, and it was asking the men what they found unattractive in a woman. And most of the men said a woman that smokes, a woman that curses, a woman with claws and the spider eyelashes and the dusty wig. And I was like, wow. But that's what they be running after in the club. But anyway, I mean, of course, we all are attracted to people's physical appearance, but sometimes you have to just that can't be the only thing. If that's the only thing that you're interested in a person for, some of the most beautiful people have the most ugliest spirit. And they're not going to treat you right in a relationship. Looks shouldn't be everything, because sometimes the most beautiful person is not going to be a size 2, or he's not going to be built like The Rock. You have to, that's why you have to take the time to get to know a person.
Yep.
And really get to know them, because you might miss out on a wonderful person because you're stuck on a certain physical
appearance.
Yeah,
That's
a
right.
certain physical appearance.
Exactly. Yep.
I hope they answer that question.
I don't think that it's always going to be the same thing that attracts a man to a woman. You know what I'm saying? Because if you've dated a couple of times, then you'll notice that there may be some similarities in the women that you date, but it's specifically something that you're attracted to, right? And it doesn't matter what size, height, or it is skin tone or whatever the woman is that one particular thing that you are attracted to. Now, there may be some additional variations that come in play, but like some men like women with nice feet, some men like women with big feet, some men like big butts, some men like little breasts, some men like something that they just hold on to, you know. But it's not going to always be up here, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And if that person doesn't fit your mold, then they 9 times out of 10 they don't try to advance towards them. But it's up to the other person to understand that, okay, I'm not the person for this person.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that we put that on the other person because they say that no, you're not my type, or no, I don't date you. I mean, you could tell me all day that you have all these credentials, but if I'm not attracted to you in a way that stimulates me, whether it's intellectually or emotionally, then we just spinning each other wheels. You know what I'm saying? So why put ourselves through that?
Right.
So we should take responsibility for our own attractions.
And I think as you get older, you look for different things in a person. You know, in your 20s, of course, you want to look at it.
I'm still looking for the same thing, boss.
Nah, you know, I'm not looking for the same. But gravity, after a while, gravity takes to the physical thing, you know. Therefore, if you only there for the physical appearance, then when gravity takes effect, then what is left? See, so as you get older, you look more. It's more of a mental thing, you know, how this person makes you feel, how you make that person feel. You don't have to have a small waist. Hey, she could have a little gut. Hey, if she making me happy, I'm good with that. You know, because I'm not looking for that thing. I'm not looking for no trophy. I'm looking for that. I guess that freedom to make me feel. That make me feel. It's how you make me feel now. It's not how everybody else see you and say, "Oh man, she's fine." No, it's not about that anymore. It's about how we make each other feel, and you know, that's it. That's it for me. I mean, I'm just looking for different things now.
So yeah, Pastor Miller, I was gonna let you tell him how long you've been. You said 30 years. Tell him the story that you told about you and your husband.
Yes, we have been married 30 years. In November, it'll be 31. When my husband and I met, we were in the United States Army. I was young. I was 19 years old. And let me tell you about when I had this list in high school where this is what I wanted. I wear heels. I am 5'9". In heels, I'm about 6'2". I need a man in my life. Then I needed a man in my life. My desire was for a man. You cannot be shorter than me. You have to surpass me and match me in height when I have on heels. You have to at least match me in height when I have on heels. And I couldn't see myself with anybody outside of that. That was that superficial side. You know, you had to have a nice dark skin, a beautiful smile, and wavy hair. Okay, that was my ideal. When I met my husband, I looked at that man from across the room and I said, "Oh, he is cute." But I looked at his roommate because his roommate was tall and my husband is short. He is very short. So he shot his shot. And when he shot his shot and we got to know each other in that stage of companionship, that's when I began to really like him. And I went from liking him to falling in love with him. And I no longer saw him as a man that was shorter than me, a lot shorter than me. Now, my husband is 5'2", and I'm 5'9". So there is a huge height difference. Now, if I had let that height difference, now he checked all the other blocks, don't get me wrong. If I had let that stop me from being with my husband, I would have missed out on a wonderful man who loves his wife, who treats me well.
Yep.
And I give God all the glory and honor in that. He kept, I mean, we're still together, we're still in love, and we still desire each other. We've grown to know each other. So when I look at my husband and people
Their
like
relationship goals. Now that's their marriage, that's relationship goals right there.
Mhm.
I admire them a lot.
so, I encourage people to get over that one little, oh Lord, maybe she, maybe her hair is too short, or maybe he's too short, or maybe she's too tall. Because he could have said that. She's too tall for me. Okay, well, it is what it is. But you know what? That did not happen. So we got to know each other. And we did not let what people said, because people came in and said, well, my maiden name was Walker when I was in active duty. Walker, you gonna be with him? You really want to be with him? But what about, Shorty, my man over here want to talk to you. I don't want to talk to him because I've gotten to know Miller and I really like Miller. So my focus is on building what I build with Miller. If it goes where I desire it to go, where we desire it to go, then so be it. But if not, no. We will go out on dates, hold hands and everything. Go ahead.
So I have a question, Pastor Miller. That's some good stuff, and congratulations on almost 30 years of well, I'm gonna say 30 years because it's about to be November. But if Mr. Miller had not came up to you, would you have gone over to him?
No, because he wasn't my ideal. He was not my ideal. I had to get to know him. But he was not my ideal.
I got that. So, but if he had not come up to you to speak to you, y'all probably wouldn't be Mr. and Mrs. Miller right now.
No. No.
Yep.
Okay.
No.
And you didn't know. Right. You didn't know that you would be attracted to him until he came up to speak to you.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
So that's
chance.
In all essence how it normally works. I mean, if you wasn't attracted to him physically,
no,
you became attracted to his intellect and all the other things that he brought to the table, so to speak.
Yep, I sure did.
That's food for thought.
Yep,
I sure did.
So it's that ability to see past things is always going to inability to see past things, or to say to yourself, I always say,
oh, he cut out again. Oh,
he cut out
a little bit. You always say,
I said,
and finish that.
She has potential. She might not be set up a certain kind of way, but it's something about her that attracts me to her. She might not be the best one in the group, but it's something about her that stands out from everybody else that somebody else doesn't see.
Yep, beauty's in the eye of the beholder.
So I like unique women. And I don't mean ones with those long eyelashes that be going up like this. I don't like those. I'm just tell you right now. I mean, you could be, but I won't be able to get past those damn eyelashes.
Oh, we had a question. What does LBVS mean?
LBVS.
Yeah.
Laughing but very serious.
Oh, okay.
There you go.
All right. The language.
I want to comment on what Fedora said about beauty is in the eye of the beholder, because I've experienced all my life I was overweight. And then I lost a whole lot of weight, and I was really, really, really thin. And then, so I've experienced it from both sides. I had people, I've gone out with my girlfriends one night. You always got one girl in the group. Everybody like, oh, she ain't gonna get nobody. She can hold our purses while we all drink or whatever.
Mhm.
But then at the end of the night, I might have pulled the dude, and nobody else got a dude. They like, how she pull him? And I've been on the other opposite end of the spectrum where, after I lost all the weight, people were like, oh, you don't look good anymore. You look sick. You need to put some weight back on. So it's all in how people look at you. But again, sometimes, you have to look beyond that physical thing sometimes, because you're going to miss out on a beautiful person by not getting to know them and just getting stuck on the physical attributes.
Right.
Yeah. There has to be some level of attraction, though. To be honest, there has to be some
level
of attraction. Yeah. But yeah, getting past that all of that.
But if that's
that
all
physical,
you looking for,
yeah,
like,
you're gonna lose out.
Some people just
completely.
want a trophy wife or the trophy husband, because they have to have this certain look, because they feel like
that could be the best looking, but so selfish and
right. He beating her at night when they get home.
You just
you don't know.
Look past that. Yeah.
Okay.
Because looks fade away.
That's right.
We cannot go back in the womb. We can only get older.
Most definitely.
What were you gonna say, Curtis?
The producer sent me something. I'm not gonna read that. But hey.
So hey, Curtis.
What's up, sir?
Curtis. Or just to the people in the group, and then someone on the outside that's listening can also answer too. How do you feel about being presented with a certain package, meaning a man or a woman, but then when you physically meet them, they are not the same make up of that person?
So they don't look like what they presented.
Yeah, like she said, she looked like Holly Berry, but she actually looked like
Barry Gordy. No,
somebody. Yeah, Barry Gordy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, here. Hey, Curtis, you know what I'm saying?
That's probably one of those deal breakers.
You beat her, and then y'all go out, you checking her out, and then just so happen you get lucky, but you wake up the next morning to somebody else.
Oh, you talking about because like it, I'm gonna get you, sucker.
Oh,
I remember that movie. I'm gonna get you, sucker. She took off the wig, took off the nails. She had one little twig in the top of her head and one leg. She was
I'm gonna be.
Yeah. There you go, Julie Catfish.
Are you meaning the next morning after you got together with that club the next morning?
Next morning, next day. You like
I don't know how that's gonna happen.
Let's not say there was a overnight thing, right? Say y'all met and you say, okay, we're gonna go out let's go to lunch tomorrow, right? And then you show up to the place and you looking all around the room and she's staring you right in the face. Cause she don't look the same.
Well, I would go ahead and take her out.
Or he don't look the same.
I would go ahead and take her out and let her know that everything was built on false pretenses. That you're not who you put yourself out to be. I was looking for something else in here. This is what I'm getting. So therefore, number one, either you was dishonest with me from the beginning. So therefore, there's nothing can go no further. But I would take you. We'll go out to lunch. But after this, there's. We could just be friends, but we can't build anything off this because it started off as
dishonest,
something false.
Yep,
something false. So
isn't that physical attraction? And saying to yourself, why
not
get this opportunity to get to know this person?
Well, it's more
dishonest
to me. than just a physical attraction. Number one, there was a lie
Fedora
that was
just straight
told.
up dishonest.
Yeah, that
I
was
mean, it
a
was.
lie
I
that was
mean,
told. You know,
yeah, that goes off to
so
one of the deal breakers, and all of you guys
so it's
said dishonesty,
Being
and that
dishonest.
was a deal breaker.
so,
So in that scenario, yeah, she was being dishonest, he was being dishonest, and then on that, that's one of your deal breakers. So on that, just like Henry said, hey, we can still have this lunch together. I'm gonna talk it out with you. I'm gonna tell you the reason so you're not left hanging, and then nice evening, nice day, have a nice life. And that is a learning experience for them to put your honest foot forward. Be honest. Don't,
yeah,
be this person or that person. We all meet the representative, but you want to meet
Hello.
the,
Hello.
that person that looks like that individual. You don't want someone totally different,
Right.
from that. And they should be honest up front, because you let that other person make the decision for themselves. You don't make that
most
decision
definitely,
for them.
most
And
definitely.
people will surprise you sometimes. Some people will be like, oh, okay, it's cool, but don't try to, like I say, don't be the fortune teller. Don't try to, predict what another person is going to say. Be open, be honest, and straight up. And most times people will surprise you, and they will be like, oh, okay, it's cool, or no, I'm not down with this, bye. And then in that case, you were honest and you move on. you know
Yeah, since she lied about a small thing, that
yeah.
was that was a small thing that she lied about. Just think it's
Hmm.
something serious. You know, if
Yes.
you gonna lie about what you gonna lie with the small things, I know what you do with something big come up.
Okay.
You
Yep.
But
know, so
is it? I mean, can we really categorize it as lying if a person goes out to the club, right?
Yeah.
And there is a level of expectation to get yourself made up, right? When you go out to the club to wherever you want to put on your best presentation.
Yeah, but you don't put like no Halloween costume on, like change yourself completely. What you talking about? What you mean, chameleons or something? What is going
Hmm.
on?
I'm
Like,
telling
they got it
Oh,
like that over there on the island?
No, I'm
Like,
just asking in
ain't
general
nobody do that.
because that happens.
Really?
I mean,
That's
it
scary.
happens.
but
Wow.
Howard, but
That
Howard, that's why they call it
you
make
know
up.
you go out.
It's make it's
Yeah,
make up. You know, it's not the real person. It's make up. So I mean,
Yeah.
hey, I don't know.
amen.
I mean, some people now some women do go overboard with the makeup and the lashes and all. I mean, I like to wear lashes. I don't wear them that flamboyant, but I got some on right now. I got
and
some
they
lipstick
compliment
on
you.
right. Thank you. And I
They
got
not
some.
touching they not touching your eyeglass lenses.
And if they did, it would be all right for her, because that's just who she
No,
is.
because
Now, don't be judging nobody. That just might not be for you, but it might be for
it was
somebody.
the lashes gonna go up against her
Oh,
lenses and she won't be able to see.
I mean,
Hey,
like James, like Henry said, women, and you said it too. How when you go out, you want to look your best. You trying to make an impression on someone, but eventually they're gonna have to see the real you. We
Yeah.
don't wear
Right.
no full face of makeup every day. Some women do. I don't wear a full face of makeup every day. Usually, when I'm at work, I might have maybe some light foundation on and some mascara and some lipstick, or sometimes I don't even wear lipstick and I'm gone. And you have to accept a woman for her beauty. Now, if she trying to impress you like that all the time, then yeah, I'd be leery of somebody who won't let you
But
see
I think the
the,
person
the
got to
real
accept their
you.
own beauty first. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
If
Yeah.
they
Yeah, that goes
accept their
back to
own
what we
beauty,
said
then they'll
earlier.
attract the person that they should actually be trying to be should be getting
Yeah.
with.
Yeah.
That's
You know,
true.
if you show up representing who you are and what you are as a person, then the right person will be attracted to you.
Yes, you do have to be confident in yourself. I agree with that.
Yeah.
It
Because
didn't
I
matter. It
mean,
didn't matter. If I was
Fedora,
still big
would
or
you date
small.
Bruce Bruce?
Huh?
Right.
Would you date Bruce Bruce?
Would I date Bruce Bruce? Bruce Bruce is funny as crap. Yeah, he lost some weight. I wouldn't date him. We would be good friends. But yeah,
There you
he is
go.
funny. We would be good friends. But I wouldn't date him because my that's not a person
He
or
just too
that I
tall for
would.
you, ain't he?
No, that's not a person I'm physically attracted to. But for laughing and
And
hanging out,
nothing on Bruce, but I'm just using it as an
no.
example. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
Right.
yeah.
When
I'm
he
not
shows
attracted
up,
to him, but we would be good
yeah.
friends, and I would be a wing
But it's a
girl for him.
woman out there that likes a guy his
Yeah,
size, and it's a
yeah,
woman out there that likes my size.
yeah,
So I show up, for me,
yeah,
and I might try to talk to somebody that might not normally talk to somebody of my stature or whatever. And sometimes it might good, sometimes it might not. But
yeah.
that's for me to reconcile with. Not that it's not that person's responsibility that they wasn't attracted to me.
Right.
Yeah.
It's good.
Yeah.
I mean, because
Well,
you all show up for yourself and you have that confidence in yourself, and whether you become in a relationship, companionship, or just good friends. You might meet a person, get into a conversation with a person, and oh, this person is really a good friend. Like, we can hang out,
Yeah.
we vibe. But as far as like us being like in a relationship, like, no way. But we're on that same page, we're buddies, we can hang out, like everything is perfect, like it'll be like a brother, or like a sister. Then that case, yeah, don't knock those friendships that you can build just because it didn't work out on one end.
But
So
how do you have that conversation?
you just I mean, just have it,
It
just
just
like,
it just
yeah,
happened.
you just have that conversation. Now,
Yeah,
if the other
you
person,
say just have it, but how
what?
do you have that conversation with someone who is physically attracted to you and
Yeah,
wants to be in a relationship with you,
yeah.
but you don't feel the same way?
And you
And
say
you just have to be straight
you
up. You have
are
to be
You
straight
just
up
got
with
to
them
be
yeah,
straight up honest.
you're a
because
nice
eventually,
person. Yeah, but I don't look at you as in romantically, but I think you're a really cool guy, and I would really like for us to be friends. Now, at that point, it's left up to
But
you
Fedora, what's
whether
wrong
you
with
would
me?
want to be a friend. Nothing is wrong with you. It's me. I'm just not attracted to you
Oh,
in
it's
that
me and
way.
not you.
Oh,
Yeah.
so now you're gonna use it's me, not you thing,
No,
right?
I mean, but that's true. It's I mean, not it's become cliche,
Cliche.
but it
Right.
is
Right,
true
right,
that
I
it
right,
think
has
right.
that
nothing to
really
do with
needs to be
you.
defined. You know what I'm
But it
saying?
has
That
nothing to do with you.
exactly, and people need to
but
really understand that it doesn't have anything to do with me.
yeah,
It's solely on that person and who
Yeah,
they are attracted
Right.
to.
that's right.
yeah, that's
And
true.
turn around and see the other 99 women out there and go talk to one of them and keep going till you get a yes.
There you go. Yeah.
mhm.
Yep.
There's no guarantees in life. When you meet someone, there's no guarantee that person's going to feel the same way that you feel.
That's
I mean,
right.
that person say, "Hey, I don't feel the same way." You look at it, you say, "Hey, I appreciate that. Hey, good luck. Have a nice
Yep.
night."
Hmm.
And you go on. I mean,
Yep.
that's how life is. Life don't stop for no broken heart. You got to mend and keep going. But
There
that
it
one
is.
person, that 2 or 3 that tell you no, that one person you meet gonna make you forget about all the no,
There it is.
That's
all the
it.
no,
Amen.
all the
Amen.
That's it.
no, you,
Preach,
all
Mr.
the no
Henry.
you done forgot about. You gonna see that one. Hey, how you doing? How you doing? How you been? You see how I am? I'm happy now. I mean, I'm happy. She enhanced
Yeah.
my happiness. I'm good. And I
Hmm.
hope
Yeah.
you find someone too. And that's just
Mhm.
life. I mean, everybody you like is not gonna like you, and everybody that likes you, you're not gonna like them. So
Yeah.
Mhm.
that's just how it
All
is.
right. I got one last question from a viewer. They submitted, "What about sex?" Question mark.
Woo.
As a
Mm.
Christian, I find it difficult to find someone who understands that I will not have sex before marriage. Those are my beliefs, but I'd like to hear from the panel about having sex in a casual relationship or one that is, I guess, a serious relationship.
Wow.
So
Well,
Well,
And they
yeah.
I,
say they're really over it. They don't want to try anymore.
So
uh,
my question would be what type of, I mean, there has to be a particular, the men that you are being attracted to seems to be those type of men that want to have a romantic relationship before marriage. So stop dating them.
That part. And
Yeah.
again, you have when you're in a relationship with someone and you're getting to know someone, you're dating, you have to be honest again up front and lay it out on the table. Hey, these are my beliefs. What are your beliefs? How do you feel about this? Do you believe in having sex before marriage? If they say, yeah, we got to get down, then you say, hey, that's not for me. Maybe we could just be friends, like Fedora was saying earlier. If that's the kind of thing you're looking for, then maybe I'm not the woman for you because I don't believe in that. And the same thing for guys. You have to be honest with people and tell them that that you're just not into that. And being a Christian and single and dating, it's hard because you're trying to keep yourself pure for the one that God has meant for you, and you'll know when the right one comes along, because you're gonna be on the same sheet of music. You're gonna know. You're
But
just.
how? I mean, I'm still trying to grasp the part
And
where you
I'm not.
say
And you're
being
not gonna.
saved and single is hard
But
because if you're
Because a lot of men, they say they want a good woman and all of this and all of that, but
they
they really
do.
don't. They really don't.
They
They
do
really
want a
want
good
somebody.
woman. I
but
think
But
that,
they want
I
somebody
mean,
who's gonna,
okay,
they want somebody who's
check
gonna
this
give
out.
it up too. Because for a lot of men, that's
But
the
why
main
is that
part
not
of
a
a
good woman?
relationship.
but
That's
that's
What
the
what I'm
makes
main
that
saying.
part
That,
of a
that
relationship
doesn't
is
mean
the intimacy
that,
part.
that
They
doesn't
feel
mean
like
she's
right,
not a
that.
good woman.
How can
That
you
doesn't
bring
right?
mean
So
she's
somebody?
how?
not a good woman.
Right.
If she
So
gives it up, that doesn't mean that she's not a good woman. The thing is this: you got, like someone said earlier, you got to be equally yoked. Now, if you
Right.
out here messing with a worldly guy and you stay and you're not going to do anything, then see that's too negative. Nothing
Mm-hmm.
positive will come out of that. You see, so
Right.
hey,
you got to get with the
hey, so
guys that
Curtis,
equally yoked,
Curtis
believe in the
told
same thing
me,
with believe in the
Curtis
same thing
told
Right.
that you
me
believe in.
that
You listen to Curtis.
That's why Howard paused. That's why he freezed. Conversation.
Curtis
He
Curtis
finna
told
put you
me
out there,
that a
Curtis. He about
woman
to put
knows
you out.
within 5 minutes whether or not she want to have sex with you. That's Curtis told me that.
Wait, what?
Curtis told me that a woman knows within 5 minutes whether or not she want to have sex with you. So me, it's like going to a job interview. You know what I'm saying? I'm going in on my best behavior. You know what I'm saying?
Hey,
Well,
I can't. I can't.
And I
I'm gonna
appreciate
put
you for
my A
getting your
game out
game,
there for
Curtis.
you.
Oh my goodness.
Oh God.
Oh my goodness.
hey,
Wow.
it was a crown royal
Okay,
talking. That's what
let
it
me
was.
throw this out there. Knowing that she wants to and having it is two different things.
Right. That's right.
So that's two
wow.
different things. So there you go, Howard.
Mm.
That
I
doesn't
just
mean that
saying.
it's gonna happen.
I'm just saying. I
Right.
So
mean,
you just saying
I
you
know
might
Yeah.
get the
it
job,
don't
but
mean it's
hey,
gonna
you
happen.
still on the job
Hey,
training.
hey, I don't mind being on. I don't mind OJT, but I like on hands training.
Oh
Hands
We can
on,
do
no.
hands
over.
on.
We can we can do over the shoulder training, on hands training. I mean, just
Oh,
let
and
me know how
I
long I'm
also
on
wanted
probation.
I also wanted to put out there, when is there a difference? And I know there is, but I'm just gonna pose this as a question. Is there a difference between intimacy and sex? Because some people blur those
Yes.
Oh
lines
Oh
yeah.
and they
Well,
don't
that's
they
yes.
think
Yes.
that if you're not having sex, you can't be intimate, and that's false.
Right.
So
you have an
I
intimate
want to just throw that out.
conversation. You
Yes,
have
I just want to
have an
put that out
intimate
there.
Mhm.
conversation. You can
Hmm.
have an intimate conversation. I mean,
Yep.
when I was young, of course, I thought intimacy. Oh, that's all about having sex. But as
Yep.
you get
It's
older,
not.
you get
Hmm.
wiser. You know that hey, it's more things can stimulate you than sex. So
Yep.
all
Yep.
about it's all about the individual
Yep.
and the maturation process too. So now, if you was asking me when I was 25, I would say no, that can't happen. But see, now that I'm older, I'm like, you're right, it can.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a maturation process that you go through. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it is
So,
doable for
so
oh, it's
someone who's
doable.
intimacy.
single and
Hey,
Christian to be
but
in
let
a
me say this now.
yeah.
But it's doable. But now, we just can't have that conversation all the time. We talk about intimacy, so it's
Yeah.
doable.
But
Yeah,
I'm saying
intimacy.
for
I
those out
mean,
there who are Christians and who are single in the dating field to give them that hope that it is
Oh
doable
yeah.
right,
for for them to be
right.
in a relationship and show that other person that you care for them and be intimate without having sexual intercourse.
Oh
Sex,
yeah,
So
yes.
look, we
So
saved,
Joy.
but we ain't
So
dead.
yeah.
right. So Joy. I mean, you say saved and single. I mean, do I get to rub your back? Do I get to touch your leg under the table while we having dinner? You know what I'm saying? That don't
No,
mean that we finna
no,
Yeah.
have. I mean,
Yeah.
because when
no,
those things
no,
happen,
no,
let me. When those
Again,
Shut
things
up.
happen,
you can
Hey,
hold
no.
my
when those
hand.
Ain't no
when those
touching
things
going
happen,
on.
but you had.
Hand bump at the
But
end
you,
of the
I'm
night.
just
At
saying,
midnight.
most people say that they saved and they single and they married to
I'ma
God,
holler
they
at you.
married to Jesus,
hey,
and that happens. They nah, we can't do that.
hey,
No,
Howard,
So
Howard, she's a
what
It's a
saved
hand
Fedora
woman.
is
bumping at the end of
saying
the night,
that
bro.
is
Good
that is
night.
100%.
Walk you to your door. I'ma holler at you, all right?
Yeah. Hey,
Curtis, stop.
she's saving. We out to dinner. I don't want to be no catching legs or nothing. No, I'm not gonna leave anything. You
Oh,
see.
okay, I hear you, Henry.
So just go ahead. We
I'm
eat and
touching.
let me finish now. Let's go ahead and eat. I don't know how many times I'm coming back, but we can get that situation. But I don't want to be touching and get myself excited. Hey, let's eat. You said it ain't nothing happening. Okay, we eat and we go on about our way. You know, but there ain't be no touching and all that. No. We can't. We ain't gonna let the opportunity present itself for you to say
Mhm.
no and no. So
But Mr. Henry,
be real. Yes,
Mr. Henry,
yes.
Mr. Henry, do you not think that the woman wants to feel wanted and appreciated, and by you showing her some level of affection? I mean, to me, by not doing that, that would be selfish of myself. You know what I'm
I,
saying?
I, I can tell. I can tell how much
I want her to feel wanted. I want her to, even though she say she don't want to have sex, when she leave that table and we go our separate ways, she going home and think about something.
Oh, you can put something on the mind. You can put something on the mind, but you can also tell her how much you care for her and everything without being a physical touch. You know, you can tell her how much you care for her and everything else, how much you want everything else. You don't have to just be a grabber and rub it here, rub it there. You know, the power of conversation is something else. You know,
That's so
I
true.
Yes, it
mean,
is.
that's gonna be
That
part of
is
it too.
very true.
Yeah, yeah.
That is
I'm
Stimulate
just
the
telling
very,
you what
mind.
very
Curtis told
true.
True.
me.
Yeah.
Very true.
Yes.
Conversation piece, huh?
Stimulate the mind.
Conversation,
conversation ruling nation.
stimulate
So
the
if you got a good
mind. Yeah,
you got a good conversation, he can make the imagination go anywhere you want it to go by your conversation.
You right.
All right now, Mr.
And you're
oh,
gonna be
Henry.
definitely.
very disappointed at the end of the night.
I mean,
Shut up,
You
Curtis.
need to
Man,
quit.
you're not gonna be disappointed. Just be quiet,
Poetry
Curtis.
works.
Don't
Yes.
set yourself up for
Bring
failure,
that
Mr. Henry.
poem.
Don't
no,
set
I
yourself
want you to
up
tell
for
myself
failure.
because I wasn't expecting that from this saved woman, no how. Because
Uh-huh.
I know she was saved before I took her out.
That's
So while
right.
I took her out, and she done told me that she's saved, I'm
Yeah.
not taking her out and say, I'm trying to break her.
Yeah.
Because
Mr.
in
Henry,
my days, if a woman says she was saved and I know I ain't had no foot, I'm not dealing with her.
Mr. Henry,
Because it's
check it
not for
out.
me to try to break her.
Mr. Henry,
Say that. Say that,
this what
Mr.
you got to
Henry.
do with saved and
But Mr.
single.
Henry,
You got to go.
some people want to get closer to God.
Well, hey, that's
What?
their thing.
Mr. Henry,
Howard,
listen,
stop.
listen,
Hey,
listen.
no, that's
Hey, Mr. Henry,
their
on a serious note, this what you got to do. This is what you got to do with saved and single. You got to go to Miss Miller Church, right? And they have after
thing.
Miller after you go to church, right? They're gonna have cooking at the end. So that could be your date right there. And you go home and say praise God and give her a church hug and go on about your business. Because you know ain't nothing about to happen after that. You can be her church buddy. That's it. I solved that for you. They're gonna have some good groceries at the end of church service. You go to church with joy and go to church, praise God, and then at the end, you can have all the conversation you want. And as you serving in the back, and you're gonna have a good time. You're gonna say, I enjoyed church service and dinner. And you can go about your business because you're gonna be disappointed. I'm telling you.
And keep your hands above that table.
Yep, that's it. Because you know they're gonna be watching you. The deacon's gonna be checking. You ain't getting nowhere with it. So just don't set yourself up.
This is the quick Curtis.
Curtis, you said all the good women in the church.
That's not a true statement.
No, that's not true.
That's not a true statement.
What I'm saying is for those men that that's where you're gonna find joy at. Just go to church. Go to church with her. Then after church, you can go ahead and eat church. Pastor Miller gonna shake your hand as you're walking into the hall, and she's gonna say, "Oh, Joy, this your friend?" You're gonna say, "Yes, ma'am, this my friend right here." And y'all go sit down, hands on above the table, and at the end of the day, ain't nothing happening. So you can do that every Sunday and build a companionship. And then when you decide that you might want to go into a relationship, you can still go to church and eat for free in the church hall. And then you go home and you keep that routine.
You ain't eating for free in church.
Yeah, you eat for free.
Yeah, you eat after.
They eat church around here, man. You got to go to church, man.
Mm-hmm.
You eat after church. They always have
time
you go to church.
Only time you
mingle with the single,
if you
single, saved and single. You can mingle with the saved and single.
No, that's not every church. No, sir. No, sir. No. No, sir.
I'm just saying. You asked me, so I just told you. That's how. Don't, Mr. Henry. Don't set yourself up for that, man. Don't do it.
That's good advice, Curtis.
That's good
advice.
You hold on, Mr. Henry. You hold on.
There's no setup, no expectation.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we coming to the end. Hey, we coming to the end of the show, Fedora. So, hey, we got final words. We're going to start with Pastor Miller because she got some good stuff going on. And if you're in the El Paso area, please check out the things that she's bringing to the table. So I'm not going to spoil it for y'all. Pastor Miller, tell them what you got going on, where they can find you at.
You can find us on Facebook at Transforming Faith Ministries, and you can find us also for Transforming Faith, our church. You can find us on tfmelpaso.org on YouTube. You can find me with Keeper of the Keys, our Keys Keeper on Facebook, and we meet every other Wednesday. We have something exciting for you coming on this Wednesday on the 6th. So if you want just to go a little bit deeper, understand a little bit more, and not just in who you are as an individual, but in relationships, come on and check us out. We build each other at Keys Keeper, and I'm truly grateful for the women who partner with me with Keys Keeper. Not all of us have the same ideals, but we have one common goal: is to build women. So check us out.
Okay, all right. When your church services, Pastor Miller?
Our church services start at noon.
Okay.
At noon every Sunday, we start at noon.
Okay, all right. Howard, how can they find you and what you got going on?
Our first thing I'll say is I heard this once before I was listening to Michael Bazin, and he said, "Don't spend major time with minor people." So if that person doesn't fit into your life, then don't try to make them fit. It's okay to grow. And then in these relationships, we really have to start learning how to communicate. Everybody say that not me personally, but everybody says that they are an effective communicator, but normally they really only be communicating to themselves and not actually trying to see if the person that they're communicating actually understood what was being said. So communication, don't spend major time with minor people, and then have fun.
Okay. And that's where they can find you at. I guess the producer put it down here. Uh,
But
Joey.
I mean,
You can find me on social media. I'm on Instagram at Joy Joy to the World, Facebook. Just look up Sharon Joy Joy Jacobs. Um, Again, when you are on the dating scene and you're looking for someone, be honest. Just be honest and upfront. Um, have fun with it, like Howard said. Have fun. Don't compromise just to say that you have a man or that you have a woman in your life. Truly love yourself, because you have to love yourself first before you can love anyone else.
Mm, thank you.
Good. Good.
Okay. Mr. Henry.
You can find me at James Henry on Facebook. Uh, my last thing I have to say is just be honest, be patient, be blessed, and be loved. This is
All right. Well, thanks again, everyone, for being a
Yeah.
part of this. We really appreciate you coming on the show and sharing your experiences and your thoughts and concerns and some of your advice that you've given to the people out there, and as far as being single and finding that right person for you. We thank you all for coming on. But
Thank you.
Fedora and I got some announcements and some other things we got to talk about real quick before we close the show. But thanks
Yeah.
again, and thanks to
Thank you,
viewers for
guys.
tuning in today and watching. So thank you again. We hope we see you again on the show.
All right.
I enjoy
Thank you, guys.
myself. I enjoy
All
myself.
right.
thank you for having us.
Georgia. How it be good?
Okay, Fedora. We have a viewer that submitted a question to us.
Okay.
Said, can Suite 915 host a singles event so we can possibly meet someone? She says, I'm literally, or he or she says, I'm literally over trying anymore.
Mm, that's a good idea. Yeah. If we
Yeah,
can get
I
enough,
think we can make that happen.
yeah, we can make that happen. Get
We
enough
got some
singles on.
contacts around here, but it would have to be face to face, because if it's not face to face, as you can see, you can only see my top.
Yeah.
So I could have like oh boy said, your body, your what's that, your body
It
might be
may not
changing,
match.
and only
Yeah,
thing
you
you
might
showing
take
me
your
is your neck
dentures out,
picture,
Curtis.
huh?
You might take your dentures out. You might take your dentures out.
She got jokes.
I had to get you back for messing with me about my hairstyle.
Mm. Oh Lord,
You
I ain't
know I
gonna
was
mess
gonna
with you
get you back.
today. Oh Lord.
But
Okay.
yeah, I think we can make that happen. We can
We
make
can
that
make that
happen.
happen, and we'll
Good
keep
idea.
that in perspective. Once we find a location, we'll post it, and
Mhm.
COVID going around, so we're gonna have to require masks and be safe about what we're
COVID
trying to do.
cards. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. And
vaccination
if
card.
you're interested, then we'll be working on that. We're working on that and trying to put that together. I think Valentine's would be a good time. We might find a
Ooh,
Valentine's at that
yes.
time.
Good idea,
Um,
Curtis.
we got some local events for Dora that's coming up that we can share. Y'all,
Yes,
you say there's
yes.
nothing going on in El Paso, but we got some local events coming up.
We do.
Mhm.
The first event we have the El Paso alumni chapter of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated is currently hosting their Let's Get It Poppin' virtual gourmet popcorn pop-up store fundraiser. Proceeds benefit youth and community initiatives and service projects. Contact your favorite Delta or message them on Facebook or Instagram at DST EPAC. um, Also, there is the Deltas will also host a breast cancer tea
Mm.
honoring all fighters and survivors during the breast cancer awareness month. The tea tickets placed will be October the 23rd from noon to 2 at, well, the tickets first of all are $45, and the event will happen, I cannot see that. It will be at the Franklin Ballroom at the Doubletree Hotel by Hilton, and that's
All right.
at over on El Paso Street. And tickets are $45, so get those. And the event will be October the 23rd.
Tickets
From
are
noon.
going fast.
Oh, they're going fast.
They're going fast. So if
Yes.
you want a ticket, yes, please see your favorite Delta. I'm sold out.
Oh, you
But
saw that already?
yeah, I'm
Okay.
sold out. I sold the last two right before the show. But there are some other members of the sorority that do have tickets. And then also there's popcorn. We're trying to raise money for our youth initiatives. If you go to my Facebook page and my pop-up store is there, I'm trying to move this popcorn. We're trying to get it going for the kids. So go to my Facebook page and it'll say Sharon's pop-up store.
Hmm.
Get some of that good popcorn.
Right.
And we
Hey,
appreciate your support.
buy one get one free, right?
No. It's buy one, get one. Buy another. You buy one, you get one. You buy three, you get three.
Wow, man, y'all ain't right, man.
Right.
What else we got?
Let's see. I See Me. Catch
Mhm.
up on the latest shows and podcasts from Mocha Radio. Follow at Mocha Radio or at Middle Life Mocha or
Mhm.
Midlife Mocha and at Black El Paso Voice and at Black, what is that? At Black on the Border. That's your show, Curtis.
Yeah, yeah,
On
yeah,
social
yeah.
media.
We
Hmm.
got some good things coming up on Black on the Border. I'm just if you want to be a part of the show, just let me know and we'll talk about it. What's
Yes,
this?
yes. New Year's cheers. We're looking for El Pasoans who can help us complete our 10 ways to celebrate New Year's Eve virtually. Compilation, send a video or come on the show to share your ideas with others for 2022. Because you know that it's really, people don't really do a whole lot for New
Hmm.
Year's Eve. And it would other, a lot of people go to church, but most church services are over before the new year comes in.
Hmm.
So some ideas of how to celebrate 2022 safely, of course,
Right.
um, because we're still in a pandemic.
Okay. Uh, yeah, we talked about it. Yeah,
And then
yeah.
you're Black on the Border.
Mondays at 12 noon. Yeah.
And then if you have any local event or announcement that you want us to put out, let us know. Send us an email at the real sweet 915 at gmail.com, or you can message us on social media.
Yeah. And we also got some events going on this month. It's national. Is it national?
What?
I got my pink shirt on. Cancer awareness,
Mm-hmm.
breast cancer awareness month.
Yep.
Uh, yeah, we got breast cancer awareness month this month. We have National Crime Prevention Month. We have
Mm-hmm.
National Domestic Violence Awareness Month, which is a big
Okay.
thing because it's rising. COVID's going on, and you find out a lot of things that you didn't know uh,
Yes.
about what's going on in people's houses until they're strong enough to tell you.
Mm-hmm.
Emotional Wellness Month.
Mm.
We have some ethnic observances. We have the Filipino American History Month,
Mm-hmm.
German American Heritage Month,
Mm-hmm.
Italian American Heritage Month. So, observe those ethnicities. And also we have Cybersecurity Month.
Okay.
We have also Hispanic Heritage Month ends on October 15th. It's September 15th to October 15th. So we got some observances coming on.
Okay.
So once again, hey, good show. Got anything for the people before we get out of here, Fedora?
No, like I always say, keep loving your heart. Stay safe because we're still in a pandemic. Wear your mask. Get vaccinated if you have not been, because you want to live a long life.
Yes, yes,
Yep,
yes.
and have a blessed week.
And blessed to have a blessed week. Hey, thanks again for tuning in. Hey, God bless. Uh, and thanks for your patience with us today. Good
Yeah, it went a
show,
little
good
long.
panelists, and we had fun. I appreciate you tuning in. We'll be again. Our next show will be October 17th.
Yep, October 17th.
So if you want a topic that you would like for us to address, please drop us a line at the real sweet 915 at gmail.com. You can hit Fedora up at It's Me Fedora on Instagram. Host Curtis Smith on Instagram, Twitter, Spotify, not Spotify, but Instagram,
No,
Twitter.
Twitter and Facebook.
Yep, Facebook. Yep, you can hit me up on Facebook. If you have a topic that you want us to discuss, just hit us up and let us know. And our next show will be Sunday, October 17th. So we look forward to hearing from you.
Yep.
And let us know what you think. And as always, be blessed. Have a safe week. Thanks for tuning in. Good evening. Have a good evening.